Coach C.J. Johnson has said at this point they simply want to get back to the 500 mark at 5-5. And with Justin Hall, well, they've got one of the best receivers in the league to get there.
They certainly do. He's been phenomenal for them this season. And once they figured out that quarterback position with Jalen McClendon, Justin Hall has really taken off. 58 receptions on the year are 18 more than the next closest, 10 receptions a week ago. You can see he kind of does it at all levels of the field. He mostly plays in the slot, but they'll move him wide, create matchups that are advantageous for the Roughnecks to get him up the sideline to create big plays. Most of that damage is done in the short to intermediate game, but he can create big plays down the field as well.
Yeah, so versatile the way they move him around. Hey, Freddie Coleman, his teammates call him Shorty, but he's long on talent.
Yeah, there's nothing short about Justin Hall leading the UFL in receptions. And what has been the one thing that has led you to be the kind of wide receiver you've been so far this year, Justin?
Just hard work and dedication. During the offseason, I just try to put in work. Back with my high school receiver coach, he always gets me right. So yeah, just putting in the work, just communicating with my quarterback, offensive line, doing a great job.
What has it been like for you that you know that you're the top person on the opponent's scouting report, that if they don't stop you, they're going to have a problem with Houston? What does it feel like being that dude on this offensive side?
It gives me a challenge for sure. I mean, I love it. I always gonna step into the plate for it. My team's ready. I'm ready. So that's our ball. I'm just ready to hoop.
He's always ready to hoop, especially when he's the dude for the Houston Roughnecks. Back up to you guys.
Yeah, that Houston team defeated Michigan a couple of weeks ago. This game a little bit of a rematch, Roddy. But when you look at some of the skilled people on this Michigan Panthers squad, Siosi Mariner leads the UFL in receiving yards, and he is a very imposing, speedy target.
He really is. It's going to be a little bit of a different look this week for Michigan because they've got that playoff game next week. So we're likely going to see 3 different passers throw into Siosi Mariner, but his ability to create plays down the field is what's made him dangerous. It's a long strider, a big receiver, and has really elevated his game this season, becoming the #1 target and really being the biggest big play threat for this Michigan offense. They've done a great job of creating plays off of play action to get him one-on-ones down the field, and he's taking advantage of it.
He's one of the leaders of the team on both ends of the field. And let's go downstairs to Harry, who's standing by with Mariner.
CLC, you've done a phenomenal job being the #1 wide receiver for the Michigan Panthers, while also being the #1 receiver in receiving yards in the UFL. What would you contribute towards your success?
First, I want to give honor to my Heavenly Father, because without him, I probably wouldn't be in this position. But just kind of the coaches believing in me and just trusting the process. The culture we have here in Michigan, I definitely believe in it, and that's kind of been the reason I've been able to do what I do.
You brought up coaches, your offensive coordinator, Marcel Belfay. I firmly believe he does a great job of putting guys in positions to have success. Talk about him a little bit.
He does a great job because, credit to him. Like you said, I'm leading the league in receiving yards with the least amount of targets. So he does a great job getting us in positions to have explosive plays and things like that. And me and Marcel go way back. Known him since 2021. He's a head coach over there in Ottawa in Canada. I spent some time with Ottawa Red Black. So we've been in touch for quite a few years now. And I definitely trust what he has going on. I trust his plans.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Those two with some pretty good history and lineage going back to the Canadian Football League. And as we enter week 10 and continue the last week of the UFL season, some interesting odds to take a look at, and Aaron Dolan has more. Aaron?
Well, Michigan is currently a 2-point home favorite, but right now the public is liking the Houston Roughnecks with 62% of the money coming in on them on ESPN Bet. Now, as for that total at 41.5, 80% of the money is coming in on the over, and that's not too surprising considering overs have been cashing like crazy. 20-9 since week 3. Now, this total right now at 41.5 feels much lower than what we've seen in prior weeks for both of these teams. But let's keep in mind, it's the last week of the regular season, which makes betting a little bit difficult. But I'm going to go, guys, against what everybody else is liking, and I'll take under 41.5 for today.
Oh, okay. Aaron Dolan taking the under today in terms of the total. Well, Houston will receive the kick. Michigan deferring to the second half. And we are underway as week 10 continues. From the 3-yard line, it'll be Grayson Jr. And Jr. brings it out to the 22-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 from there for Houston. Let's take a look at our crew bets. Aaron, you heard her take the under. Harry's got Michigan. I've got McClendon with the over. He lit this team up for over 300 yards passing last time. Roddy's got the under at 41.5, and Freddie's got Rocky Lombardi, who's going to get the start for Michigan today with over 1.5 touchdown passes. Playing in the shadows of where he played his collegiate football. Lingard starting off in the backfield. 1st and 10 for Jalen McClendon. Last week completed 70% of his passes in that win. Gets it out quickly. And it's caught by Justin Hall, who we heard from with Harry just a moment ago. He picks up about 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. There's a look at some of the cogent numbers on McClendon out of North Carolina State and erstwhile of Baylor. Some very favorable comparisons that coaching staff made with him. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. 2nd down and 8.
Here we go. 180. What's up?
Gets it out quickly again. The pass complete. And that's going to be a 1st down. Chisholm.
Jalen McClendon did a nice job of delivering that pass into a blitz that was coming. He actually had a free rusher up the middle for Michigan that he was able to avoid just by getting the ball out quick. And that's what Jalen McClendon's game has been since he's taken over at quarterback. Accurate, underneath, has the arm strength to take shots down the field, but he's done most of his damage short and outside the hash marks.
Look at the nail. Here we go. Hey, we're good. Here we go.
Little pistol formation. McClendon's going to hand it off to Lingard, and Lingard over the left side of that offensive line. A nice run out near the 44 and another 1st down, 12-yard pickup.
F-Jet, the pistol, tray left, 35 Eagle.
F-Jet, the pistol, tray left, 35 Eagle. Green, ready.
The intonations of offensive coordinator Eric Price from the 43-yard line.
Sounds like we're going to get another run to that left side.
They keep it on the ground between the tackles. Out to the 45-yard line. Marino making the tackle on Lingard, limiting that gain to 2.
Good play by Jared Marino up the middle. One of the best interior linemen in the UFL this season. And now Houston going with a little bit of tempo, getting up to the line of scrimmage quick.
Yeah, that defensive front has been one of the strengths of the Panthers all year. Butler in motion. You got a little bunch set down to the bottom of your screen. Gets it out again. Another completion and another 1st down at the 45 to Chisholm. I'll tell you what, Jalen McClendon is throwing lasers here early in this football game.
Nice play.
Coach Mike Nolan and C.J. Johnson have some history. They worked together as part of the New Orleans Saints coaching staff several years ago.
And guys, one thing about McClendon, they talked about that he has a great arm, but they want him to harness that and not take the shots when they're not there. We saw that in that last play.
Threw a rope that time, Freddie, and gets it out again. This time throws it away. He was looking Spivey's way, and his 1st incompletion of the football game.
It looked like a little zone read RPO. He ends up pulling it and getting on the perimeter, and there's nowhere to go with the football. He could have gotten it out.
For the head of receiver.
Spivey.
There is no foul on the play.
No foul. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
There is no foul on the play for an intentional grounding. Result of play is 2nd down.
All right, there's the call. We'll have Mike Pereira joining us today, our rules analyst.
You got it.
Curtis Johnson told his team after last week's win that they were looking forward to this matchup against the Panthers because he felt like last time they left a lot of meat on the bone, that they should have won that game. Statistically, they put up some great numbers against Michigan.
Whistles.
Illegal substitution. Offense breaking the huddle with 12 players. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Well, this time there is a penalty, Roddy.
11.
Not only did they break the huddle with 12, they had 12 guys line up, or going to line up at the line of scrimmage. A little bit of confusion probably on personnel grouping. It's always disconcerting when you get out there and a guy's lined up very similar, close to where you're lined up, and you're looking at each other like, what are you doing here?
2nd and 15 as a result.
Here we go.
McClendon tried to set up the screen. Nice catch and run down to the 47-yard line by Lorenzo Lingard out of Akron. And a good stop there.
You got the two interior linemen, the left guard and the center, pulling and getting out. And number 74, Avery Genesee, doesn't get much of the defender, but he forces the defender underneath. And that just creates a little bit of space for Lorenzo Lingard to get some positive yardage.
Houston looking at their first 3rd and long. They got to get to the 35-yard line. McClendon pulls, caught for the first down at the 32-yard line. Wow. Justin Hall extended above his head to rein it in.
Well, he's only listed at 5'8", but it's the rollout, and then Justin Hall is going to sit right in that zone in front of where Jalen McClendon is rolling out. And at 5'8", the ability to climb the ladder just a little bit, snag that ball out of the air. It's very impressive, but also the arm strength by Jalen McClendon. I mean, this is on the run. He throws an absolute dart. That's that special arm talent that Jalen McClendon has shown since he's been the starter here in Houston.
Pick up a 14 yards and a first down. McClendon surveys, great touch and another completion down to the 17-yard line to Chisholm, who's made several plays already on this opening impressive drive.
Well, he's in rhythm, and you're going to see Chisholm on the dig just come across, and Jalen McClendon drops back to pass. As soon as he hits the top, little rocker step, top of his drop, little rocker step, and then delivers the football. Really nicely done by McClendon, who looks like he's in a really good rhythm so far on this first drop.
Chisholm, remember, had that highlight touchdown catch against Michigan a couple of weeks ago. 1st and 10. Caught at the 2-yard line and hit. Spivey hung on to it, and he got drilled. It'll be 1st and goal. He did a great job here.
He certainly did. You're going to get play action, and the safety's going to come up as Spivey just leaks out of the backfield on the little pop pass. Really nicely done. Blitz off the edge, and then all McClendon has to do is get it in the vicinity of Spivey, who climbs the ladder and grabs it.
Tarpley made a big hit, but Spivey hung on to it. 1st and goal. That far from the end zone. It's Lingard. No signal. He's short of the end zone by about a foot. It'll be 2nd and goal. Panthers there with a nice surge up front, led by Muton. Donovan Muton, one of the leaders up there.
I tell you guys, what I love about this Houston offense, we got to remember, C.J. Johnson did coach for the New Orleans Saints under Sean Payton. The football's going to get out quick, swiftly. They're going to use multiple personnel groupings. You're going to see the screen game, a little bit of everything.
It's worked so far, Harry. They keep it on the ground. Touchdown! Lorenzo Lingard powering his way in. And a very impressive drive. A 12-play, precise and prolific drive to start the game.
Impressive indeed. I mean, this is kind of all Lorenzo Lingard. Whelan Speaks is able to penetrate into the backfield, had a chance to make the tackle. Lingard gets away from him, and then it's all power into the end zone.
Yeah, that left side of that offensive line. They ran specifically, to the left side out of their 5 running plays, 4 to the left side of the offensive line of the Houston Roughnecks.
Yeah, they had a shift up front. Banner moved over. As this conversion attempt is brought to you by Ortho Home Defense. On the rollout, it's caught just in bounds by Justin Hall. McClendon again threw a frozen rope that melted in the arms of Justin Hall. So they get the extra point.
I'm not sure how Jalen McClendon fit this in here. Goes right by the head of Kendrick Whitehead into the end zone, and Houston looking hot offensively here in Detroit.
Season ago, place kicker Jake Bates was a member of the Michigan Panthers. He made several clutch kicks for Michigan a season ago, including the 63-yarder at one point during the season. He parlayed that into a very successful NFL stint a season ago. He was signed by the Detroit Lions. And on his bobblehead day, he's standing by with Harry.
Jake, I had an opportunity to cover a few of your games a few years ago as you were making 60-yarders, 50-yarders. Talk about the UFL and the Michigan Panthers organization and what it means to you, giving you that opportunity to now kick for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I mean, it means everything to me. My life, my family's life has changed forever because of this league and this team giving me an opportunity to just keep chasing a dream. And it's just so cool to see so many people still doing it, and the way the league has been able to continue to grow. And I'm going to be, the biggest supporter of it for forever, because I did so much for me, and I'm just so thankful for it.
So I remember one of your games right before halftime, you hit a 60-yarder, and I looked at you and I said, "Ice, ice, baby," and you just looked at me with a blank stare. You're still locked in to this day, right?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't talk too much. I'm a little bit shy and reserved, especially on game day. So that sounds about right.
How are things going at OTAs right now? I know the Detroit Lions, they're in OTAs, as a lot of teams in the NFL are.
Yeah, it's been great. It's just super exciting to be back with the guys and back in the city, and it's so cool to have the season right around the corner, and we're super excited. I think we got a really good team, and starting from the top down, it's just an unbelievable organization, and I'm so thankful to be a part of it, and I'm just taking it day at a time and having a lot of fun with it.
So you played with a lot of guys that are currently on the Michigan Panthers roster. What do you want to say to them right now?
Man, first off, just congrats. They're killing it this year. I think they're probably the best team in the league right now. But I'm so thankful for them. They saw so many days of me struggling, and they were always there for me. Letting my head go on their shoulder, and tough days. We had a lot of just we lived together for 6 months essentially. So I have such good relationships with those guys, and I'm so proud of what they're doing right now, and I'm so thankful for the massive roles that they've played in my life.
I wish you nothing but success moving forward, and thank you for being so gracious with your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Jake Bates, one of several wonderful, compelling, visceral stories that emerged from the United Football League. Rocky Lombardi hands it off to his tailback again. That time it's Colburn the second.
I got your spot.
This time there's a flag on the
Illegal
field.
motion. What number?
7.
What was he doing, moving forward at that snap? Okay.
Illegal motion, offense number 7. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Well, Bryce Perkins is QB1, but today it's Rocky Lombardi's turn at quarterback, the former Michigan State product. Look at his numbers so far on the season. Undrafted free agent by Cincinnati in 2024, a season ago. Making his first start in professional football.
Guy who played a ton of ball in college. Amazing that this is his first start as a professional, but he is a gunslinger and will take some chances.
2nd and 9. Going to keep it on the ground out to the 45-yard line. Matthew Colburn again. Picked up about 4 on the play. Antwine making the tackle for Houston. Sets up a 3rd down and about 4 to go.
Matthew Colburn is a guy who's been injured for much of the season for this Michigan team. They're really excited to have him back. He gives them some juice that they haven't been lacking, but it just gives this offense a little bit extra dimension with his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and his burst once he gets to the second level.
Tua not with the team. Lombardi across his body, complete to midfield, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Colburn, Roddy, showing that he can come out of the backfield and catch the football too.
Yeah, it's just a little check down. Matt Colburn's just going to come and sit, and when Rocky Lombardi scrambles out, he does a nice job of finding his running back. It's not always advisable that a quarterback throws back across his body towards the middle of the field, but with Colburn kind of sitting there all by himself, it was a good find by Rocky Lombardi, and it ended up in a first down conversion.
And one of the things that they struggled with, the Houston Roughnecks, getting pressure. They didn't have to dial the pressure guys. They got pressure with 4 guys, but they didn't have pocket awareness and allow Lombardi to get outside and find the wide receiver and the running back open on that play.
Lombardi hands it off again. This time, nothing happening. There's another flag down as Colburn has dropped down right at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul
by Markel
face
Roby.
mask, defense number 31. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, includes an automatic first down.
That's against Markel Roby.
It wasn't actually on Markel Roby. It's the defensive lineman, like Darius Morgan, that ends up getting him. Roby's got him wrapped up down low, and then big number 92 gets him up high with the face mask as he kind of goes by. So Roby did a nice job coming down from his safety position to make the tackle, actually.
Unfortunately, it moves the ball all the way down to the 35. Rocky Lombardi, the former high school wrestler. How many professional quarterbacks are former high school wrestlers? He actually had Division I offers in wrestling.
It's on 30-1.
I feel like when you're,
Yeah, I'm challenging the face.
you're from the state of Iowa, you have to.
Coach Johnson's challenging.
I'm telling you,
But
no
there was
face
no
mask
face
on
mask.
31. I just got it from my
Okay. So I'm going to give him one correction. It was 92, not 31.
Yeah, make sure that he knows. Make
The
sure
number
that
was
he
92,
knows
not
that.
31.
You said 31.
And there's a correction. It is number 92. 92 was the one that had the foul for the face mask. So if you want to challenge the 92, you're welcome to do so. But
We challenging 92 or what?
Tell him he doesn't want to
No,
challenge
I don't want to
92.
challenge, not 31. Yeah,
timeout though, right?
There's correction. The previous foul was 92 for the face mask. There is no challenge nor timeout charged. It's first down.
Your numbers matter, Roddy.
Yes, they do.
So we do have to be my mistake and clarification on him. We're getting that.
That is the
Yeah.
correct
No,
thing.
Coach Nolan know that. Wrong information.
Correct.
I took care of this coach. He's good to go.
And it's good communication from everybody. Good communication by the official to Coach Johnson. And it's good communication from Mike Pereira to our head official saying, hey, man, like, you just give him a heads up. Probably don't want to challenge this.
Yeah.
Pretty slam dunk.
No harm. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. A look inside the helmet of Rocky Lombardi getting the start. On the play fake, checks it down, incomplete at the 36-yard line. Good hit on McCrary immediately by number 12, Sean Preston.
And Rocky Lombardi actually had Samson Nakua streaking down the middle of the field and an opportunity to take a shot. And the backside corner was really the only guy that could have gotten there, and had he laid it out kind of just towards the back pylon, Samson Nakua run under it. They had an opportunity. So Marcel Belfay, known for once they get past the 50, taking those shots down the field, had one dialed up. But they didn't, Rocky Lombardi didn't pull the trigger.
On 2nd and 10, Lombardi incomplete at the 34 behind his receiver, Malik Turner. There's a look at Coach Belfay.
Here we go. Jerron field goal. Jerron field goal. Reveal. Lexi Trey Void. Liz corner bang 8. Reveal. Lexi Trey Void. Liz corner bang 8. Hurry up.
Reveal Lexi Trey Void. Liz corner bang 8. On one, ready?
That bang 8, that's a skinny post by one of the receivers. One of, I'm sure, Harry Douglas's favorite routes, that bang 8.
That's right, Roddy.
On 3rd and 10, pressure off the edge. There's the pass complete, and a first down at the 24-yard line to Weidermeyer. Moving the chains.
So they split Jalen Weidermeyer out wide, and it's just a little curl by the tight end. And because you have the tight end split as your #1 receiver, he's up against a corner, and the corner's just not able to bring him down. Jaquan Shepard just can't wrangle the big guy. At 257 pounds out there wide, those corners are going to have a tough time bringing him down right where they catch the football. He fights for the first down.
12-yard gain on the play. Pass complete at the 22. That's Malik Turner, who he misfired on last time. Turner picks up on a yard, brought down by Rayshad Williams out of Texas Tech. Under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Both teams' offenses respectively moving the ball pretty well.
Yeah, and this one has been helped out by a couple penalties.
Rip, Q counter, straight, X post, R shoot. On one, ready?
But it's been good for Michigan to see Rocky Lombardi operating this offense the way he has. It's been in rhythm. He hasn't taken any chances and moved him down the field so far.
Lombardi on a quarterback predetermined run. got a seam and a crease. One move and he's brought down at the 5-yard line. Well, the gunslinger can use his legs too.
You're going to get a couple pullers from the backside, and those 2 blocks end up springing on the quarterback counter. Just the hesitation, and then he gets up there behind Ryan Nelson, number 75, gets a nice block on the linebacker. How about the moves in the open field? Making a safety miss.
Little stutter step.
It's also a luxury, guys, when your 3rd-string quarterback is athletic like your 1st and 2nd string, and you can still run the same plays.
It also helps the 2 left guys on that side of that offensive line, the 2 of the best guys in the UFL.
Great point.
Fumble, it's on the guard. On the ground, it's loose. Houston trying to pounce on it. Let's see who's got it. It appears as if the Renegades jumped on the loose ball. The Roughnecks jumped on the loose ball. J.T. Tyler was there. And the Roughnecks recover. Boy, within the shadows of the goal line, they turn it over. A costly break. Back after this. The UFL is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Look at the automotive history here in the Motor City. Man, that's a whip right there, Roddy. That's driving us to the airport after the game.
I was going to ask if we could get that as a rental car up here.
I thought Mark Jones brought his vehicle to the whole proceedings today. I thought that was his vehicle.
Well, these Houston Roughnecks were firing on all cylinders on that opening drive. Jalen McClendon was 7 of 8 for 69 yards. After the turnover, see if they take a shot early here. McClendon trips. Looked like one of his offensive linemen pulled out and tripped him up. Little friendly fire. That's going to result in a loss of a few yards.
It was the foot of the center, Jack Kramer. Watch that left foot. Going to trip Jalen McClendon up. Fortunate that he held onto the ball, or else we might have had back-to-back fumbles on the exchange.
Wow.
The defense had a chance to jump on.
Loss of 5 makes it 2nd and 15. McClendon over the middle, overshoots his intended receiver, Cam Sutton, the tight end, and quickly it's 3rd down and 15. Coach Eric Price compared him to Jameis Winston. He said, actually, it was Coach CJ, said he wanted him to be more like Teddy Bridgewater, though. What do you make of that comparison?
Well, in the context, he was kind of describing the game plan and how they put it in. Teddy Bridgewater was a guy that came in and was very vocal about what he liked and what he didn't like in the game plan. Jalen McClendon is just kind of like, yeah, coach, I like everything. And John's like, you can't like everything. Something you have to like more than others.
Got to pare down the menu a little bit right now. Running sidearm delivery incomplete at the 40-yard line. And it's a quick 3 and out, but there's a flag down on the play. Harden was there defending the pass and knocked it away.
Can't hear you guys.
And McClendon is
defensive
hobbling.
interference.
Give me a number.
Interference. Don't have one.
Okay, and we've got a spot foul, so it's an automatic first down. Okay.
16, Jason.
Pass interference.
Defense number 16. The penalty is placing the ball at the spot of the foul and includes an automatic first down.
Boy, that's not a good sign for Houston. McClendon has fallen to the turf, and there's a look at the pass interference infraction. And that's a look at QB1, Jalen McClendon, who has been brilliant so far in this football game. With 15 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, it was non-contact, guys. He just went down, and I never like when a non-contact injury happens because, especially in the lower leg where they're looking at his right leg right now, we've seen way too much of that happening where a non-contact injury usually is something serious.
Let's take one more look at it.
It's kind of running off. It may have happened, and this is speculation, but he did avoid that tackle. It may have happened coming out of that, and then you just play the rest of the play, and you don't realize how bad it hurts until you try and make your way back to the huddle. But certainly the way he is walking as gingerly as he is.
Well, there's Anthony Brown, who began the year as QB #1 when we saw them against the defenders.
You're going to get a couple blitzers off the edge. Running back has to pick, and he does the right job of picking the inside defender. But there's nothing obvious that happens after the grab of the legs. So you just hope that Jalen McClendon, it's not too serious, he's okay. And for Houston, you hope that he's able to return to the game in some way.
Anthony Brown out of Oregon becomes the quarterback now. He was the starter for weeks 1, 2, and 3 of the season. Former quarterback at Oregon. Spent a little bit of time in the NFL as well. He'll be on the sticks at the wheel when we come back to Detroit. Welcome back, everyone, to Detroit. Panthers taking on the Houston Roughnecks, and that is one of the best to ever do it. Thomas Hitman Hearns, former welterweight champ, trained out of the now famous Kronk Gym back in the day, and he had one of the most lethal right hands. I can remember his fight against Jose Papino Cuevas back in the day, and of course when he put Roberto Duran to sleep, it was one of the most devastating right hands I've ever seen. Meanwhile, speaking of throwing punches, McClendon ready to try and deliver a haymaker right here back in the football game after hobbling a moment ago. Good news for Houston. First down and 10 from the 42. Hands it off, and that's going to be a gain of about 4. Lorenzo Lingard. Here's what they did to McClendon during the break. Sometimes just slap a little tape on that, huh, Ron?
Honestly, for most of us, that's what cures it. Spat the cleat, tape it on up. And the important thing is after that handoff, the fake that he had after, he had a little burst on it. I think a lot of that was Jalen McClendon just testing out the ankle a little bit, but he moved well, so the mobility looks to still be there.
Kirk Merritt in the backfield beside McClendon to his left. Merritt takes the handoff, spins, and is brought down at the 46-yard line by Arnold Tarpley III, the starting free safety for Michigan. There he is, number 2, at 4 tackles last week. One of several players trying to catch the eye of the NFL scouts watching today.
Smart play calling, you think about it, gentlemen. They bring McClendon back in, give him the test the ankle, and run the football to make it 3rd and manageable. So pretty good smart play call by C.J. Johnson, the head coach, to make sure that the quarterback was not going to be in a stress situation in the first 2 plays of this drive.
Sets up 3rd and 5. Merritt motions out of the backfield. Merritt couldn't make the catch, incomplete. Broken up nicely right there at midfield by White.
And a little bit of pressure created by Breeland Speaks off the left side of that offensive line, just powering his way through, made him get rid of the ball quick to Merritt. There's good coverage on the back end as well. So despite Jalen McClendon coming back in and looking good, Michigan able to force the punt.
Malik Turner perched at his own 8-yard line, and Mike Rivers getting set to punt. Rivers with a healthy 48.1 yard average on the season. Boy, that's a moonshot. And it's going to carry him all the way into the end zone and come out. Well, week 10 of the UFL continues tomorrow on ABC. That's right. Tune in at noon Eastern for Arlington versus San Antonio. It's the final day of the regular season. It starts on ABC and ESPN Plus as Rocky Lombardi comes out for his 2nd series. The first one truncated by a fumble on what appeared to be a little bit of an errant snap. Let's see what they get going here. Lombardi making his first professional start. Got McCrary in the backfield. Lombardi hands it off. McCrary will pick off a couple of yards, picks up 3.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's go Grizzly. Let's go Grizzly Raven fire zone. Grizzly Raven fire zone. Grizzly Raven fire zone.
We got Lexi, Glenn, snag. I want ready. Go give us.
Here, Chris Wilson saying fire zone, so expect pressure coming from somewhere on that defensive front, and then zone coverage behind it.
Looks like it's coming from the boundary. They come the other way. Nice little gain out to the 35-yard line by McCrary. And that's a first down.
To get pressure from this side, you're going to get a dropper that ends up having to cover the back. And they actually do a pretty good job of limiting the damage once McCrary catches the ball. You get a force player from the outside, rallying from the inside. It doesn't create a big play, but the shiftiness of McCrary is able to pick up the first down.
Lombardi's going to keep it on the ground again. A nice crease up front and a spirited run for another what appears to be first down out near the 45 by Nate McCrary out of Saginaw Valley State.
And Roddy, I think it's safe to say that the Michigan Panthers, they have a great problem, right? When you have 3 running backs that can do a lot of different things and bring different elements to the game of football in a successful way, you look at that as a positive here, Mike Nolan as the head coach.
That's a great point. You got the physicality of Toa Taua. Nate McCrary's kind of a blend of both Colburn and Taua, and then Matthew Colburn's got the burst and the receiving ability as well.
See what it looks like next week against Birmingham in the playoffs. Lombardi taking a shot downfield. There's a little contact. No flag, incomplete. Jalen Moore couldn't make the catch against Isaac. You hear the fans there. They wanted a flag.
The pressure comes right up the middle from the defensive line of Houston and then down the field. I think it's a good no call.
Me too, yeah.
There's hand fighting on both sides. You got Jalen Moore trying to create some separation. Keenan Isaac does a nice job of not falling off and ends up being incomplete. Good no call by the officials.
Yeah,
2nd and 10.
Yeah, good idea not to reward chicken fighting down the field. Good call by the referees not to do that.
They set up the screen to Colburn and chopped down at the 49-yard line. Good support off the corner that time. Actually, it was the safety, Sean Preston Jr. making the tackle. Sets up a 3rd down from the 49. So what do you make of Lombardi so far in his first professional start?
He's done a nice job. You can see the mobility. He's taking care of the football. With the exception of the errant snap, and the snap wasn't that bad. I think that one was more on Rocky Lombardi than anything. But he's moved this offense. This is a big 3rd down, though, and he's getting empty. Clears up the picture for the quarterback, lets him know the coverage.
3rd and 5. He's going to try and use the self-checkout line. Rocky Lombardi rumbling. Touchdown, but there's a flag down on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Yeah, this will be a hold, gentlemen. Yeah, this will be a hold because the referee, he threw the ball.
He got a flag here for
Rocky Lombardi throws the football. But that was definitely a hold on the sideline.
So defense. Okay, what's the result of the play?
Yeah, I'm not
it was a touchdown.
At the end of the play. I had to go into the side zone, so I
okay, so the result of play is a touchdown, and we got a personal foul, but we're going to put that on the succeeding spot after the kickoff, or they can put it on the try if they'd like.
Number 21, hands to the face.
Number 21, hands to the face.
Wait, that's not a personal foul.
It's a face mask. It's not like inside the line.
You said hands to the face or face?
Hands to the face. That's just a 5-yard penalty. He's right. That's a 5-yard penalty. So we're going to decline that and make a score. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Illegal hands to the face, defense number 21. That penalty is a fine. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Rocky Lombardi's touchdown run stands.
It's just a straight quarterback draw. Noah Johnson with basically a screen on the linebacker. And then it's Rocky Lombardi outrunning the safety, Leon O'Neal, who couldn't catch him.
Hey, Rocky popped that clutch. He was gone.
He's rolling the end zone yelling, Adrian!
Don't cut me, Mick. That's the longest play of the season for the Panthers, 49 yards.
I think Coach Johnson's going to challenge this. He's throwing the red flag on the field right now because he is not happy that they called the foul against his team when he thought there was a holding before that foul happened against the Roughnecks.
Exactly.
Who threw the punch? Number four?
Four.
Number 4 threw the punch. I'm saying, upstairs, they're saying no hands for the face. No, on play. I didn't even know they fucking...
Open up.
And no hands to the face. And I'm saying that their guy threw a punch. Four. So was it 4? Yeah. Shut up. Tell me who the number is. 4. Yes.
What personnel they have on the field?
I got to figure that out because I'm looking at this.
Here's what C.J. Johnson is talking about. Okay. By the way, it's only May, but he's hotter than July right now.
Yeah, and look, this is what he's talking about here.
Okay, I'm with you, Jason. So I'm going to take a look at the actions by number 4 to see if we have a personal foul. There is hands to the face right at the line of scrimmage on 21. Now, when you see 4 go after him in retaliation, he grabs the face mask with the right hand. Then he actually gets the helmet opening from behind and tries to pull it off, which is a personal foul. So he is going to win this challenge, which is then going to offset the penalty, right? We're going to have offsetting penalties.
That was the Verizon Command Center.
We're going back to 3rd and 5 in the 49.
When is a touchdown not a touchdown, Roddy Jones?
Well, it's a great challenge by C.J. Johnson, who was obviously getting notifications not only from upstairs, but also from the sideline. Because all of this happened right in front of the Houston sideline.
Did you get all of that, Jason? It's 49 going in. Plus
49.
Plus 49.
Third down. Can replay third down.
After video review, the ruling is a personal foul by the offense number 4. That offsets with the foul of hands of face by 21. It'll be 3rd down and 5-yard line, 5 yards from the 49-yard line.
Curtis Johnson has some discerning eyes in the sky.
Not only that, but again, like those were the 2 outside receivers right in front of him.
Yeah.
And so while you might not have known exactly what happened with COC Mariner, you knew something was going on. Even from that initial replay at the top of the route, there's just so much hand fighting. It's good. It's a great job by the Verizon Command Center, Mike Pereira, of getting that sorted out because it was messy on the back end.
Well, we got Thomas Hearns in the building, so we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It's good infighting. 9:31 to go in the first half. 3rd and 5. Lombardi pulls, batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. So after all that, touchdown comes off the board, and the Panthers will have to punt. TJ Franklin got a hand up and batted it down.
Watch Franklin. He's going to first work here, and then he sees the eyes of the quarterback in the gap and works back outside to bat this ball down. It's a good job by the defensive tackle. Just kind of feeling where the lane is, seeing the eyes of the quarterback, working back out to the outside, knocking that ball down.
And luckily he did, because Malik Turner was wide open in the middle of the football field.
There's a look at Justin Hall back at his own 8-yard line. Houston with a 7-0 lead. Roughnecks trying to get back to 500 on the season. Seth Vernon ready to punt from his own 38. Hall fields it at the 12. Runs straight up the middle. And a nice 18-yard punt return to the 30-yard line after the 37-yard punt. It'll be 1st and 10 from there after we take this break with 8:38 to go here in Week 10 of the United Football League season. Back after this. 4th-ranked Aaron Blanchfield against number 5-ranked Macy Barber. Should be a great fight. Kirk Merritt in the backfield on 1st down and 10 for Houston. We lead at 7-0. Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Freddie Coleman, Harry Douglas down in the field here on the final week of the regular season. The playoffs begin next week. And these Michigan Panthers will be in Birmingham taking on the Stallions, who are looking for their 4th consecutive title. 1st down and 10. Pass down the sideline and incomplete at the 37-yard line. McClendon didn't have much room to work with Chisholm. I was talking about the game being in Birmingham for Michigan next week. Get to that in a second.
It's a great job by Harden squeezing the receiver to the sideline, not allowing him to jump over him and make that catch.
Chisholm did a nice job of breaking that up. Potential interception.
That was the case of low man 1 because he was out height at number 16, but he was not going to give up that fight. Really good defensive coverage there.
2nd and 10. They go empty. Blitz coming. Pass complete. That's Grayson Jr. still on his feet, but a flag down. And Grayson pushed out of bounds at the 45.
They're going to decline that and take the result.
Yeah.
5-7 was the foul. 57?
Yes, 5-7.
Offside, defense number 57. That penalty is declined. Result of play is a 1st down.
And so it's going to be a 1st down. We have a player down on the far side of the field for the Panthers. Was talking about the fact they won't get to play at home next week against Birmingham. That's because Mr. They Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, K-Dot going to be in the house doing a concert.
It's a good reason to be kicked out of your own building.
Yeah.
I went to the concert in Atlanta.
How was it?
Kendrick Lamar and SZA. It was amazing.
Believe me, guys, he didn't stop talking about our radio show for days.
Hey, Harry, he didn't have that backstage pass for you at the concert, though, did he?
Hey.
We're going to take a short break. Come right back. The UFL is brought to you by Progressive. Protect your auto, home, and business today at Progressive.com. Here from downtown Detroit. Pretty exciting time for the city of Detroit sports-wise, with the Panthers heading to the postseason. The Pistons in the NBA fresh off of their successful regular season and playoff run pretty much. Red Wings starting to do their thing, and Tigers in baseball.
Yeah, Tigers have the best record in baseball.
Hey, what about that? Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. 1st down and 10 for Houston. Looking for their 5th win of the season against 5 defeats. And of course, with a lot of the players on the field today, it's about being able to put a little bit of money on tape. Catch the eyes and discernment of some of the front office people in the NFL. Much like Jake Bates did a season ago for these Panthers. McClendon on the stretch. A little stretch zone and out to the 45-yard line. Merritt stopped up for a short gain.
One thing that we saw on the first drive from Houston that we haven't seen quite as much.
I was going to ask you what's different.
The rollout game hasn't been as prevalent as it was on that first drive. They got Jalen McClendon more on the perimeter, and that gave him some easy tosses to create kind of these situations, 2nd and 3rd and shorts. But as long as they can stay in 2nd and 5, 3rd, 4 or less, and they should be good.
McClendon hands it off to Merritt again. Sets up a 3rd down. Hey, Harry, Justin Hall only has a couple of receptions. What do you make of his day so far?
Unacceptable.
Oh, really? Why?
This is a guy that leads the UFL in receptions. He should have, by halftime, at least 7 targets, 7 or 8 targets by now. So look for C.J. Johnson to get him more involved.
And Harry, a lot of those passes that they can get to him, are behind the line of scrimmage. And they haven't been doing that nearly as much. One of them was, but the other more down the field.
Pivotal 3rd and 3. Low snap. McClendon gets it out. Complete. Who were we talking about a moment ago? Justin Hall just in time to move the chains.
Inside coverage by the defensive back. He just goes to the outside. Simple play. Roddy and Harry, you guys are right. You got a guy like that. You got to give him the ball more times. Get him more at-bats so he can hit some home runs for you.
Yeah, the rotation of the safeties made it one high with Akeem Dent in the middle of the field, man-to-man underneath. And Freddie, you're right. That inside leverage by the defender just meant Hall turns out. McClendon delivers an accurate ball, and you get a first down.
Shorty might have heard us talking about him up here and down on the field. He's in motion. They fake the jet sweep. McClendon eluded one tackler and brought down finally by Ron Stone Jr. If the name sounds familiar, his father is the former 3-time NFL Pro Bowler, 12 years in the league.
Well, this is tough. So they're reading the end defender. That lets you know to pull the ball, but you're also getting a blitz on the edge from Kendrick Whitehead, and it's just a bad look to run it into. You kind of just tip your cap. Defense had a better call than your play. Jalen McClendon held onto the ball. It's a nice job by him, but Ron Stone causing that initial pull and then rallying to help tackle the quarterback, doing a nice job.
Athletic family. His sister Renika played volleyball at Oregon and professionally overseas. That pass into a tight window. Wow. You talk about threading the needle. Cam Sutton was on the other end of that rope, and a limping McClendon delivered it that time.
This is a football throw.
Wow.
Of the football.
Okay.
No, he's just really, so he's rolling to his right. He doesn't have his feet set. This is all arm and core, and he's able to whip that ball and get it to Cam Sutton before the defender gets there. In coverage that wasn't bad, but it was a better throw to beat the coverage.
Moves the chains with just under 4.5 minutes to go. Lingard motions out of the backfield. They go empty. Pressure coming. And it's Lingard with the catch and the run, and another first down for the Roughnecks.
Maybe McClendon was right. He can make every play he likes every play. I mean, they talked about want to be conservative with him, but the ball does not stay in the air long. He makes up his mind that ball's on the receiver in a hurry.
And that's what you want from your quarterback, right? Be quick and decisive, whether you're going to run the football, throw the football. Don't sit back there and pat it. Allow the defensive line to get to you and force sack fumbles. Doing a great job right now controlling the game.
Sets up 2nd and 1. Over the left side of that offensive line, and that's going to be close. It looks like Lingard got enough. Mika Tafua making the tackle on the play.
This play is made by the hands of Garrett Marino inside, giving the running back nowhere to cut back, and it runs him right into the arms of Tafua. And now you've got a 3rd and short.
That's how far they are.
Very short.
Yeah.
Less than a foot.
10th play of the drive coming up. And they're going to let it run down.
Their first charge
Call a timeout.
It's 30 seconds in left.
They've got 2 remaining. Michigan with a full complement of 3.
We got a 30 seconds.
Hey, Cam.
Good catch, boy. You got 2 downs. I'm going for it. You want me? 11, 11, 11. 11, let's go.
You heard C.J. Johnson. Got 2 downs going for it.
You got answers.
Yeah.
He was yelling 11. That's the personnel grouping, not the distance to the first down, 11 inches. Colin Bauer on the other side, hoping that his defensive front can cause some issues on this play.
Watch those safeties track the tight end in the back.
Lingard in the backfield.
Looks like they're going cover 0, guys. All out blitz.
Incomplete. That was coming in a little bit hot. Chisholm couldn't squeeze it. He turned around and the ball was right in his hands.
I think Chisholm is begging Jalen McClendon to just slow this down a little bit, but you can see the cushion. And as soon as he turns his head, Jalen McClendon puts the ball right on him. I think he's telling him, just take a little bit off that, and I catch it. Because the timing just a little bit off. If he waits a beat longer or takes a little bit off, he's able to catch it. But now we got a 4th and short. Likely to get exactly the same thing coverage-wise, as Harry just said. 0 coverage, no safety in the middle of the field. Everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Lingard in the backfield, 4th and short. McClendon, incomplete. The Panthers defense, impregnable, invincible.
Why not run the ball there, guys?
Well, everybody stacked around the line of scrimmage, so I guess Michigan's thinking, hey, look, it's one-on-one coverage on the outside, and the route is right out there. But Keontae Harden does a great job of just setting his feet right where he is. Bounces, waits for the receiver to break. He knows it's got to be a quick break. And so when the receiver makes his move, Harden drives on the football and is able to knock it down. The better shot was on the play before when they missed that skinny post.
See if Michigan takes a shot here. Picked off at the 30-yard line. It's coming back the other way. Room service. Ring it up. That's how you atone for a mistake on the previous play. Moody. Marvin Moody Jr. with the pick 6. He caught him in traffic.
So Marvin Moody Jr. is right here, but both linebackers are going to go towards the right. And I think Rocky Lombardi sees this first linebacker go and thinks he has a window. But Marvin Moody just tracks the eyes of the quarterback, gets right underneath the tight end, and is able to stroll into the end zone. Really nice play by Moody, reading the eyes and getting the pick 6.
So at 2:02 to go. After giving over the ball on downs, Houston scores a touchdown on a pick 6. Their 8th interception of the season, by the way. Lingard in the backfield. They'll go for 1 from the 2-yard line. Into the end zone, it's broken up. Incomplete, so it remains 13-0. DJ Miller heading it away. Let's go downstairs to Freddie, who's standing by with Moody.
Well, he's got to go back out real quick. Real quick, Marcus, what did you see on that play, on that pick? What did you see on that?
Hey, my coach just made a great call. Happened to be in the right spot and made a play.
Well, go do your thing.
Yes, sir.
That's right. He's got right back out there, guys, back up to you.
Hey, let's take another look. You said it. He tracked it just perfectly, Roddy.
He did, and Rocky Lombardi's eyes are taking him there the whole time. Again, I think Rocky Lombardi saw that first linebacker vacate and thought he was good, thought the window was going to be there, but didn't anticipate the backside linebacker, Marvin Moody, coming all the way from the other side of the formation underneath that throw. Rocky Lombardi certainly something that when they get on the iPads and are able to look at that, he's going to just really be disappointed that he didn't check that backside back before he threw that ball.
Big play by Houston's defense. And Marvin Moody Jr. makes it 13-0. Moody Jr. ready to go back out there. Played his collegiate football at Tulane, 26 years old. Good size at 6'2", 230 from the 12-yard line. This is Martinez. Cuts it north-south and is stopped up at about the 28-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Timeout. Moody ready to do it again. Balling like Balenciaga right now. Back in a minute.
I'm here back at Ford Field with head coach Mike Nolan for the Michigan Panthers. Coach, your offense is kind of sputtering right now. You have the mishandle on the snap, the interception return for a touchdown, and then the personal foul penalty that negated a 49-yard touchdown run. What do you want to see from your offense right now in this 2-minute situation?
Well, obviously, we need to go down the field and get some points if we can, obviously. And we don't want to give the ball back to our opponent. We want to use up all the clock because when we come out the second half, we have the ball. So if we can end this half with points and the ball, then that'd be ideal for us coming back second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. All right, Harry.
All right, you're looking into the eyes of Rocky Lombardi. There's a look at what they've done on the last 3 drives.
Harry detailed that each one of those drives ended by a self-inflicted wound. The offense has been able to move the ball down the field.
Lombardi gets it out, complete at the 36-yard line. That's Colburn the second, and he picks up a first down right at the 45 with 1:49 to go. Michigan with its full complement of 3 timeouts remaining.
Coaches this week talked to us about the added dimension that Matthew Colburn brings in the passing game. You saw it there.
Lombardi completes this, and that's close to another first down. Looks like they're going to give it to him at the 45. That was Oaks.
It's a good throw into a tight window with 3 timeouts. Now they don't have to go turbo speed anymore. You're going to still see them operate with a little bit of urgency, but now that you're past midfield, slow it down just a little bit.
After the 11-yard gain, that pass complete to Oaks again. I know he dropped it.
And I'll say this, what I love right now, what I'm seeing from the quarterback is taking the free access, right? If you're going to have a cornerback that's playing 8 to 9 yards off, he's going to take that guy on a short route, his wide receiver or tight end or running back like we just seen Colburn do not too long ago.
It feels like they're splitting out running back and tight end to that #1 position, the furthest receiver outside. And they are giving a lot of cushion. And Gunnar Oaks did everything he could to drop that ball on that one. Like, the ball was in his hands. He almost had to fight it out.
Beat him up ball.
2nd and 10. Lombardi got rid of it. The officials are going to confer to see if this was grounding or not.
Well, whatever it is.
Okay, so he's outside the tackle box, so we're good. Yeah, okay, good.
The tackle box, and the ball will be on the line of scrimmage. It's an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Check and check. Outside the tackle box, ball went beyond the line of scrimmage. Sets up a 3rd down and 10, though.
And I think this is 4-down territory for Michigan, so Rocky Lombardi doesn't have to get all 10 yards on this one. I think if he gets 5 to 7, they'll still go for it.
Lombardi steps up into the pocket, now going to take off. Took a hit and fell forward to the 30-yard line, picks up the first down. That's the 2nd time or 3rd time tonight we've seen him run well. 14-yard gain.
Yes, it is. And they were excited about this dimension of his game. Bryce Perkins certainly shows it to you when he's the starter. But how about the physicality at the end? Not afraid of the hit from Jaquan Shepard, the corner. Actually, like Jaquan Shepard wanted less of that hit than Rocky Lombardi did. So he was putting his head down for the first down.
Don't play around with those former wrestlers. Listening to Coach Nolan here.
We got tons of time and 2 timeouts now.
Just reminding Marcel Belfay, a couple timeouts. They got a first down. We haven't seen them take a shot downfield to COC Mariner yet.
Right.
Roddy, what I do want to see, because Houston is playing a lot of 2 high shell, a lot of 2 safeties back deep. I want to see some COC Mariner go on one of those seam routes or one of those benders across the middle of the football field where you see vacant space.
2 safeties back again here. It looks like now they're rolling.
Mariner split to the bottom of your screen. They come his way. And it's incomplete.
I swear, Harry, it's like the Roughnecks defense heard you, seriously. Yeah. Because the minute you said that, they were in that too high safety, and then they came down with man free over the middle and it completely played the eyes of Lombardi, forcing that incompletion.
Well, they had slide protection going away from where the blitz was coming from. Houston just brought more than Michigan could manage to block, and Rocky Lombardi did well to avoid that sack.
See what they get done here on 2nd and 10. Three on the play clock. Lombardi incomplete at the 27-yard line to Colburn. Sets up 3rd down and 10 with a minute to go, 1:04.
I mean, had Matthew Colburn, had that been a more accurate pass, and Matthew Colburn been able to bring that in, he's one-on-one with the corner. The corner rolled back to deep half, though. So that, I mean, there were 10 yards of space between him and the nearest defender. We had a great opportunity to make a move, a missed opportunity there. But another 3rd and 10, empty formation. So Rocky Lombardi back there by himself. Rocky Lombardi's legs are what Houston needs to be most concerned about here.
They're 3rd and 3 of 4 on 3rd down. Lombardi, is it picked off? They're going to call it incomplete. Corn Elder is claiming that he picked it off, but the official was behind him.
No, he didn't catch it.
Incomplete.
I'm standing right about 10 yards away from him. His body language is telling a completely different story. He knows he didn't catch that ball.
And there's a look at it.
I thought he trapped it as well.
Yeah.
I think he goes through the wickets,
yep,
and he brings it in on the rollover.
Yep. The ground is undefeated, period.
So in comes B.T. Potter. Going to attempt this field goal from 49 yards out.
One thing Houston did on that 3rd down was they used the spy to keep Rocky Lombardi in the pocket.
Houston wants to challenge that was a catch.
Oh, my God.
For an interception.
For an interception, yes, sorry.
Houston is challenging the previous
play as an interception. The play's under video review.
Okay, very quickly, the pass is incomplete. Ball goes through the arms, hits the ground, bounces. So,
he can challenge at any time.
We're denying the challenge.
So they lose the timeout and they're done with challenges.
That's correct.
After video review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's an incomplete pass. Houston is out of challenges and loses 1 timeout. They have 1 remaining. It's 4th down.
No more challenges for C.J. Johnson's Houston squad.
Can I just say that I love Mike Pereira's demeanor on that? Like,
keep it moving.
Very quickly, it's incomplete. It's like my kid when it's like, Dad,
no.
TJ told me that
no,
that if I did this, it would work. Very quickly, it won't. Let's move on.
Yeah, what are you challenging, Coach?
84 was held on that play when the ball was in the air.
84 being held on the previous.
Was being held by the defense.
So Mayday, you hear that?
Tight end number 84 is being held
Michigan
by the
is challenging that number 84, the tight end, was held on the play.
Okay, we will take a
during
look.
the pass.
During the pass.
Is he coming back with another quick one?
Before the pass or during the pass?
You guys speak up.
Yeah,
defensive holding is what
He's
it
calling
is. We got defensive holding
okay.
on number 84.
Okay.
Our number 84.
Correct. Michigan is challenging.
At the time our number 84 was held.
84 of the offense. The play's under video review.
At the time,
a lot of layers there, Roddy.
Look back. Look at the release of the pass. Okay. In real time, we have to look at the release of the pass. There's the potential hole. You look back and the ball's gone. Because of the timing on the field, we would look at this one. When the official sees this grab, he's going to look back, and then in real time, the ball's out of the quarterback's hands into another receiver. To another receiver, we're going to deny this challenge. And so we are staying where we are. They lose their challenges. They are now out of challenges also.
Timeout, but it's still 4th down at that spot.
Okay, all right, still kicking.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. There is no foul in the play. Michigan loses their challenge for the game and uses 1 timeout with 1 remaining. It's 4th down.
I want to know, did Mike work in insurance? Because he denies a lot of claims. Hey, Mike, you used to be an insurance man, right?
You know, I think I will go into the business. You know. And the challenges are done, so I think I'll go home, as a matter of fact. I'll go back to Sacramento, where Mark lives. You know, what the heck?
Thank you, Mike. Okay, so we get back to the field goal. P.T. Potter with 58 seconds to go. This coming from 49. Got it up well, and he rips it through. So the lead is down to 10 with 53 seconds to go in the first half.
So I'm going to go back to Mike Pereira in the Verizon Command Center about the process, Mike. Why was it important, the real time, the real speed look, as opposed to slowing it down and seeing if the hold happened in slow-mo before the quarterback released the ball?
Yeah, we said when we got involved as the replay center, what we said is we wanted to rule and officiate the game the same way that the officials see it. Now, it's different when it's a sideline catch. We'll slow it down to see if a foot is down in bounds. But when it's a two-step process, which that is, there is a grab. But then as an official, you got to look back and to see, is the ball being thrown? When it's a two-step process where you have to go from point A to point B, we're going to look at it in real time. And when you do that, it would be impossible to call it. So that's the way we officiate the play here in the command center.
Great explanation.
See, I'm going with Pereira Insurance.
Okay. Yeah.
My premiums
those claims
are
will never get paid. Are you kidding me? I'm staying away from Mike. 13-3 to go. Michigan Panthers next week will have, they're expecting Bryce Perkins to be back for their playoff game against the Birmingham Stallions. This is Grayson Jr. on the kickoff return, still on his feet, and finally pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Week 10 of the UFL continues tomorrow on ABC. Tune in at noon Eastern for Arlington versus San Antonio. It's the final day of the regular season, and it starts on ABC and ESPN+.
This Houston team did a great job last week right before halftime against the DC Defenders, going down and scoring a touchdown. Let's see if they can do it again today.
Yeah, and there's enough time for it to get some sort of score here. 45 seconds, one timeout. If you use the sideline properly and anything in the field is a first down, so that the clock stops temporarily, you can get down the field and try and attempt some point.
McClendon over the middle, completes it. Got a little bit of room. Merritt still on his feet, turns it north-south, gets over midfield where he's chopped down on the sidelines at the 45 with plenty of time, Roddy. 34 seconds to go in a timeout, 25 yards on the game.
Plenty of time. Kirk Merritt just gets one-on-one against the safety. Kendrick Whitehead kind of gets caught looking in the backfield. Merritt breaks inside when he's not looking. Then you make a guy miss and you get a big chunk play. Now you got plenty of time to get some more yardage, get in field goal range, or maybe even take an attempt to the end zone.
McClendon has 134 yards passing, adding to the total right there to the 37. That's Chisholm, short of the first down. 26 seconds to go, the clock running. They're going to spike it and stop the clock with 18 seconds to go and third down and 2. What's the strategy you think here moving forward?
Well, it's the same thing. Anything in the field has to be past the first down marker, so you get that temporary stoppage so that you can spike the ball. You want to be able to utilize the sideline so you can get out of bounds and stop. But now you're kind of in a situation where if you catch the ball and it's not past the sticks, you're probably burning that last time out because you don't want that much time to drain off the clock again.
McClendon's going to hand it off. Lingard. That's going to be close. They're going to give the first down. 13 seconds to go. Time for a couple of plays. McClendon going to spike it, stop the clock. It'll set up second down and 10.
Let's go. 10 personnel.
10, we got 10.
Z short. Gun double right close, 52 smash Z snake, trying to take a shot at the end zone. Z short, gun double right close, 52 smash Z snake.
Z snake, is that Justin Hall?
I would imagine so. He's lined up wide to the left right now. Here he is. See if that shot goes to him.
Low snap. They come underneath instead. Lingard is going to be brought down at about the 25. Clock running, and they're going to have to burn their final timeout and get the field goal unit on the field here.
So they ended up trying to get a shot to Cyril Grayson on the other side. But
the play take a little bit too long to develop.
I think it was fine. You really only had one shot. If you're going to take a shot at the end zone, you've got one play basically. So I think the timing of it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Roddy, I'm with you. I thought McClendon's decision-making that drive was terrific. Whenever it was available, he took it and did not waste a lot of time in the pocket. So I'm with you on that one. That was the right play call because the decision-making on that drive was terrific.
And Michigan dropped so many people deep that the shot was kind of off before it started. So just wise to get some yardage there.
Chris blew it in to attempt this field goal from 43. He's 11-13 on the season. And they're going to try and put him on ice.
It's 30 seconds to go.
On a 64-degree day outside. Coach Nolan going to try and freeze Mr. Chris Blewett. As we welcome you to Detroit, Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Freddie Coleman, and Harry Douglas down to the field for Week 10 action in the United Football League. This is the final week, and this game is between Houston and Michigan, who are headed to the postseason next week. Right now, Houston leads 13-3. Attempting a field goal now is Chris Blewett from 43 yards out. Trying to make it 16-3. Got it up in the air and right down Main Street. That's the end of the first half, with Houston taking a 16-3 lead. Their goal simply to finish the season 5-5, and Rocky Lombardi got his first professional start for the Panthers today, trying to bring his team back in the third and fourth quarters. And welcome back, everyone, to Detroit, the Motor City. Right now, the Panthers stuck in neutral, trailing 16-3 against the Houston Roughnecks. Roughnecks trying to even up their record at 5-5 and finish up the year on a positive note. Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones, Harry Douglas, Freddie Coleman down in the field. We'll be hearing from them in just a moment. But first, let's check in and hear from Aaron Dolan. And what's happening with the numbers, Aaron? What do you see happening?
Well, betting in the UFL is just so interesting because you see these huge swings in terms of the spread. So if you look at this number in general, looking at the Michigan Panthers, when they opened earlier this week, they were -9.5. And then during this game live, we're currently seeing Houston laying 13.5 points. That is a huge, huge swing. And as for that total, it dipped as low as 30.5 and has come back up to 39.5. But it is week 10 in the UFL. I had said at the beginning of this broadcast that I like the under, and we've seen the under cash in yesterday's game as well. It just been very slow, long drives, and we'll keep you updated on this broadcast in terms of the live betting odds that you could get on ESPN Bet.
All right, thanks a lot, Aaron. Yeah, you talk about yesterday's game. That thing had a torrential downpour to put the game in a little bit of a delay. Let's take a look at our game flow, brought to you by Progressive.
All about this Houston defense. Tackling in the open field, knocking balls down. This was the backbreaker. The pick six, where Marvin Moody Jr. jumps in front of the Rocky Lombardi pass and takes it to the end zone. 16 points scored in this game. Those 6 scored by the Houston Roughnecks defense. Michigan's actually moved the ball okay. So get a look at our Progressive first half stats. Michigan's moved the ball okay at times, but they've had self-inflicted wounds that have really cost them. Some of those wounds have been caused by that Houston defense.
How much do you think of that is attributable to the fact that Rocky Lombardi is making his first start? They don't have, you know, their QB number 1 in there, Bryce Perkins.
Yeah, I think some of it definitely is. You look at the fumbled snap, the errant snap, if you will, that where the snap was a little off the mark, but Rocky Lombardi got his hands on it, had an opportunity. You can put that one on him. Certainly the pick six. on him as well. He did make a play with his legs that was called back. That one was on C.O.C. Mariner, but some of it definitely on Rocky Lombardi.
Let's go downstairs to Harry.
Yeah, guys, I was in the locker room at halftime for the Michigan Panthers, and I paid attention to offensive coordinator Marcel Belfay, and the first thing that he echoed was fixing the mistakes. Too many self-inflicted wounds in that first half of their offense, but also he detailed and talked about the coverages that you're going to see from the Houston Roughnecks. You're going to see one high, a lot of man coverage. You're going to see two high as well, quarters, and a little bit of cover two probably. So he's going to get to, as a play caller, his two high beaters offensively, and then he finished things up by saying this: let's go light up the damn scoreboard. Back to you, fellas.
Hey, that's what really counts, Harry. You already know. Well, the Roughnecks come in with a record of 4-5. We had them wired for sound. Let's listen in.
I want you to get over that high. Just remember, up and back, up and back. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. Just go up and turn around.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Get off the field. That's what I don't want this.
I'm still your friend, dog.
I know I'm your friend too.
Yeah,
good catch. By time. Hey, CJ, give me the ball every third down.
I love the relationship those two have. I love that. We're friends. Hey, this is business. They call it show business, not show friends, right?
That's right. That's right. Sounds like me when after I forget the credentials. Hey, man, we still friends, right? I'm going to go get them. Go get the credentials. But that, look, well, we heard all week from the Houston coaches that Justin Hall was basically C.J. Johnson reincarnated. Is talkative nature on the field, always going back and forth with people. And the relationship between those two guys, you can see evidence of it there. But it seems like a very special one between coach and player.
Harry alluded to it a little bit earlier. C.J. Johnson is no stranger to wide receiver excellence. He's coached Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson at the University of Miami as well. The Hester brothers. I mean, he knows what greatness looks like. And if you're Justin Hall and other receivers like him on that squad, you're listening eagerly, zealously to head coach C.J. Johnson.
You got to get him involved in that second half. Had 3 catches in the first, but the leading receiver in the UFL for a reason. Came in 58 catches on the season, 18 ahead of the next closest receiver in the UFL. He's typically a focal point.
Right.
And it just hasn't been as smooth getting him the ball in this game. I expect that to change in the second half.
Xavier Malone and Matthew Colburn back deep for the Michigan Panthers. They'll have their hands on the football first here in the third quarter. Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Harry Douglas, Freddie Coleman down to the field. And this week 10, the final week of the UFL's regular season. And here's Malone on the return. They fake the reverse. Got a crease up the sideline. Malone all the way down to the 42-yard line. Let's go down to Freddie Coleman.
Well, the one thing that C.J. Johnson told his team at halftime, he said, let's go get one, but let's continue to play with poise and play with passion and know our keys and know our responsibilities. And everybody was able to receive that message until that opening kickoff when they had bad kickoff discipline and kickoff coverage. We'll see if they can rebound from that and make this go to start the second half. Back up to you
Freddie,
guys.
they gave up 51 yards in that kickoff return. McCrary in the backfield. Lombardi's going to hand it off over the left side of that offensive line over Burton and Nelson. McCrary with a couple of yards.
11, second and 4. All right, here we go. Let's go. Left trig, rip gut. Left trig, rip gut.
Here we go. Okay, we got left trig.
Sounds like it's going to be another run.
Gut. On one, ready? Left trig.
McCrary still in the backfield. There's a look at the numbers on Lombardi, who's making his first pro start. Played collegiately at Michigan State. Come across the formation. A nice gain inside the 30 to the 28, and some spirited, determined running by Nate McCrary, stopped by Preston.
You're actually, you get a defender in the backfield trying to tackle him early in that, but Nate McCrary just is able to get outside of the waiting arms of the defender. Rashad Berry pick up a first down.
From the 29. Lombardi going to keep it on the ground again. This is McCrary again. And again, a healthy gain. Stopped by Tyler.
Here we go. I'm going to keep pressuring, man. Here we go. What is it?
Second and about 4-11.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Strong safety, tornado 10. Strong safety, tornado 10. Why do we ain't got corn?
Because it was
okay. Tornado right. Tornado right.
7-yard gain on that last play. 2nd and 3. McCrary again picks up the first down, keeps those legs perpetually moving. And a very impressive opening drive in the 3rd quarter. Sustained again. First down. 8-yard pickup by Nate McCrary, who played collegiately at Saginaw Valley State. Native of Muskegon, Michigan.
He's shown a lot of patience with his runs on this drive. Little stutter steps in the backfield to let his blocks in front of him get set up so that he can then get up the field and get some positive yardage. It's been a really, seems like he's in a nice rhythm, but now he's catching a break so that Matthew Colburn gets an opportunity.
Here's that quarterback run again. Lombardi pushed out of bounds at about the 5. There's a flag down, though. This looks like it might be a hold on Victor Kern.
60
number
offense.
60.
Holding offense number 60.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Sometimes it's so obvious we can see it from up here.
Yeah, he's the left guard, and he's going to pull and try and make a kick-out block, but when Rocky Lombardi bounces outside, just grabs hold of the defender. He's expecting that counterplay to hit inside of that block. He does a pretty good job of walling him off. But then Lombardi bounces it outside because he sees grass out there, and when the defender tries to disengage, he's just not able to let go quite quickly enough.
Colburn in the backfield. It's Colburn looking for a seam. Found one. Burst through. Pop clutch. Touchdown, Panthers. Matthew Colburn with a sprint across the turf for the score.
The patience of Matthew Colburn, right when he hesitates, it makes the defensive lineman pop inside. He goes outside and hits his head on the goalpost, but it's that hesitation in the backfield that causes the defensive lineman to get antsy. He peeks his head inside, Colburn bounces out, and is able to get up the field for a touchdown. Look a lot like those runs that he had at Wake Forest behind that slow mesh.
Here's the extra point, and they're not going to make it. Colburn did not make it. Let's go to Aaron Dolan.
Well, guys, right now on ESPN Bet, you can take advantage of all the live betting opportunities, whether that's the traditional markets, or you can also look at Houston's next drive outcome. And you see 4 options on your screen right now. And so far in this game, Houston's cashed each of these at least once. So again, this is available right now on ESPN Bet. Go check it out right now. Is that fine?
A 23-yard rushing touchdown. Kind of like you hid behind the offensive lineman a little bit. Guys couldn't see you. What did you see?
Man, I didn't see anything, but at first, but that's one thing about, running the ball, is you got to trust it. Even though you might not see it at first, you just got to trust it. So I just try to hide behind my offensive lineman, give him a second to work, dip in, dip out a little bit, see if I get some movement. And sure enough, something opened up, and I just hit it.
The very first drive coming out of halftime, 5 plays, 5 rushing attempts. What was the message by your offensive coordinator, Marcel Belfay, at halftime?
Yeah, we just gotta, we gotta assert our dominance. We gotta impose our will. I mean, that's the kind of team we are. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stick to what we know. We got more than capable people on this team, up front, in the backfield, out wide. And yeah, we just stuck to what we knew. And you saw it right there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Harry, this is Keys on the return for Houston. And Keys on his feet and into Michigan territory. Boy, a healthy return. Well, the Women's College World Series continues tonight on ESPN at 7 Eastern, 9 seed UCLA taking on 12 seed Texas Tech in a winner's bracket game in Oklahoma City. Tonight's winner puts themselves within 1 game of the championship series.
How about Marjorie Kennedy for Texas Tech? Very publicly went from Stanford to Texas Tech in the offseason for just over $1 million. And all she's done is gotten them within 2 games of the championship series in the College World Series, along with her teammates, but she's the best pitcher in the country and will be on full display tonight.
$1 million. It's like they say, you can't be balling on a budget, Roddy.
It's just over $1 million.
You can't 44. Be balling on a budget.
Encroachment 44.
Neutral zone infraction. He came for encroachment with 44.
Defense. He hit him, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Contact. Encroachment.
Defense number 44. Contact with the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Rams first down.
Well, that was an easy one.
I don't want to short Miss Kennedy. It was $1 million plus $50,000 for living expenses plus a little bit extra for her jersey number.
Oh,
thrown in there on top.
Yeah, don't be shorting her sister now because she's making her money and making her paper.
And
be doing that.
The free car wash money too.
She's got the Texas Tech went all in and they have delivered. She has been phenomenal as the face of college softball.
Over the left side of that offensive line, Lingard, short gain down to the 44. Panthers with a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, they're playing a little more inspired in that second half. In the second half, early on, Breland Speaks gets up the field a little bit, but Noah Dawkins saw it and came downhill quickly and physically to finish that.
Second down from the 44. Jalen McClendon has gone the entire way so far for Houston. Rolls out, finds a man downfield, caught. Butler stopped up inside the 5. Emmanuel Butler makes it first down and goal for Houston.
They just hit Emmanuel Butler on the deep over route, and on the rollout, Jalen McClendon has shown his ability to throw on the run over and over and over. But Emmanuel Butler just keeps working across the field. An absolute dime thrown right between the 1 and the 8 by Jalen McClendon.
I'm going to be looking for McClendon, sorry, Roddy, in an NFL camp when this season's over.
In terms of physical talent, I think it's he and Jordan Ta'amu in this league with the potential to go to the NFL. I mean, he has all of the tangibles.
All in motion, makes the catch, couldn't shed the tackler, and is corralled at the 4-yard line by Noah Dawkins. And daps up his defender. Second and goal coming up. Little show of mutual respect there.
And Roddy,
back to Jalen McClendon as an NFL prospect. Sorry, Freddie. I think from an upside standpoint, this is a guy whose talent has been evident at a number of stops, but for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. Came into the season with only 6 starts his entire college or pro career. But through this season, I think he's proven he can handle running an offense.
Delivers at the 2-yard line. It's caught short of the end zone to Jarquarius Spivey. Brought down by Dawkins again.
I would say for Jalen McClendon down here in the tight red zone, or the red zone period, going against this Michigan Panthers defense and their defensive coordinator Colin Bauer, you have to expect cover 0. That's an all-out blitz. So have it in the back of your mind, and if it's not that, then you adjust accordingly.
And I think that adjustment needs to be with his legs. Use those as a weapon, particularly down here close.
Got Chisholm to the top of your screen. A long, lanky receiver at 6'4". McClendon over the middle, incomplete. 4th and goal coming up from about the 3-yard line.
Well, it's kind of unclear whether he's trying to hit the receiver coming across the field or the running back hooking up. Anytime you have two guys in the exact same area, it's not exactly how it was drawn up. Yeah. And now Houston has a question. I mean, do you go for it? Do you kick the short field goal? It seems like you're going to have to take a timeout. There's a stoppage on the field to try and sort something out.
For the goal coming up.
Yeah, because the offensive lineman for Houston, he has been hotter than fish grease at an opposing defensive player right now. They've had 3 or 4 different guys trying to calm him down, and he is not having it. That's why we got a little bit of a delay here, gentlemen.
All right, and in comes the field goal unit. Chris Blewett, little chip shot here from 20 yards out. Made one today earlier from 43. And knocks that through easily. The lead back up to 10 points with just under 8 minutes to go, as Houston looks for its 5th win of the year.
And importantly, makes it a 2-possession game.
Yeah. And that's what Freddie was alluding to a moment ago. Genesee pretty upset. Here's what Michigan did on its previous drive. They kept it on the ground, and it paid huge dividends.
The patience by the running backs, both Nate McCrary and then on the touchdown, Matthew Colburn II was picture perfect. The offensive line did a great job of continuing to work and opening up those holes. And the commitment to the run game paid dividends. But it all got started by that big kickoff return. Yes. That got them into plus territory where they could lean on that run game during that drive. So I mean, I would expect much more of the same. Get Nate McCrary going. Matthew Colburn showing the speed and the burst. His first game back in a while. Both of those guys should get some touches on this drive.
Hey, they're taking advantage of the opportunities without Tawa in there today. Toa Tawa not with the team, did not make the trip.
See number 74, Avery Genesee, still going, talking to his fellow offensive lineman, that's Zach Banner, 31-year-old out of USC, trying to calm him down. But on the other side, I mean, Avery Genesee, left guard, is dealing with Garrett Marino, who is known to be one of the more vocal players in the UFL when he's going good on defense.
So you think he was popping his stuff a little bit?
I think it was probably some sort of catalyst to Avery Genesee's demeanor.
Here's Malone, upended at the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for Rocky Lombardi. Hey, Sunday Night Baseball comes your way from Los Angeles at 7 Eastern tonight. Ohtani and the Dodgers hosting Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Don't miss this World Series rematch tonight at 7 on ESPN. Two of the best players in the game. Let's go down to Freddie with Coach.
CJ, what is the one thing you've learned about your team so far having this lead going in right here in the 3rd quarter?
Well, I'm telling you, they're resilient now. They're going to keep going. They got a lot of grit. You know, we're not going to give this thing up. We're just going to keep trying to play hard.
How much does it feel like a playoff game, even though your team's not going to the playoffs?
Look, it's exactly. Myself and Mike Nolan work together at the Saints, and we love going against each other.
Yeah, cookies on the line involving you two, huh?
His wife makes the best cookies.
Go get us, CJ. Back up to you guys.
Hey, there's the goal then. We just found out what the real trophy is. A couple of friends, former co-workers in the NFL with the Saints, speaking very respectfully of each other's talents in our meetings a little bit earlier this week. New quarterback in the ball game, Danny Etling out of LSU. Relieving Rocky Lombardi. Etling pulls, delivers a strike at the 36-yard line to Jalen Moore. A gain of 7 on the play. There's a look at his numbers on the season. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. He found out that he was going to start against this Houston squad a couple of weeks ago, just moments before the opening kick.
Bryce Perkins had been banged up the week before. Just Bryce there on the right. And went through warm-ups and just didn't feel like he could go. So Danny Etling got the start, and we expected to see Etling in this game. It's also a chance we could see Bryce Perkins to get him some reps before the playoffs.
They're going to keep it on the ground. McCrary, interesting to watch how Mike Nolan is managing this game today, Roddy, because, as you said, next week is the real important one against Birmingham. In a game you'll see on ABC. You don't want to show too much, but you still want to stay sharp, right?
And you want to give Birmingham some stuff to plan for that they haven't seen, as it looks like Michigan lined up to go for it on 4th down.
I'm not sure that they got it. The ball might have not loose. It came loose on the exchange. It was not clean. And Houston got the stop they needed there. They're going to take over on downs. The snap was...
The ball was fumbled and recovered by the offense short of the line of the game. It's 4th down, short. Therefore, the 1st down for Houston. Timeout.
New quarterback, not surprised, right?
Well, the snap got up to the hands of Danny Etling, but he was never able to secure it and bring it in. Either way, Houston's going to get the ball and we have back in great field position.
C.J. Johnson, coach of the Houston Roughnecks, animated on the sidelines. I'll tell you this, his players have no problems receiving his message. He makes it perfectly clear, unambiguous about how he approaches it. Do you think they take a shot here right off the turnover?
I think with the energy that we saw from C.J. Johnson, yeah, I think so. He wants a touchdown badly on this drive.
Lingard in the backfield. McClendon still in at quarterback. They're going to keep it on the ground between the tackles. And Lingard picks up about 4 on the play. Under 6 minutes to go. Houston leading by 10. Including those 19 points, there's a pick 6 by Moody Jr.
To C.J. Johnson, the head coach for the Houston Roughnecks, like, his credentials go a long ways, guys. Remember, he was the receiver coach for the Miami Hurricanes back when it was the U, coaching Andre Johnson, coaching Sonoris Moss, Santana Moss, and also Reggie Wayne. So he's coached some damn good players.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
First round picks, Hall of Famer in there too.
On 2nd and 6, the out pattern is complete. There's a flag down. Complete to Justin Hall.
What you got?
Looks like they're targeting him a little
tripping
bit more.
number 78
in the second half.
offense tripping 78. What was the result on this? Okay, completion.
It's going to be short.
Okay.
Personal foul. Tripping. Offense number 78. That 15-yard penalty would be enforced in the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
So it's going to be right here with Zach Banner. He's going to throw a cut block and actually miss. And then he swings that left leg around just for good measure. And he doesn't actually trip the defensive end, Mika Tafua. But swinging your leg around like that, trying to trip someone, still a penalty. So
when you're 6'8", 365, even if you don't trip somebody, you're tripping somebody. Just the wind alone probably knocked the guy down, and he got that penalty.
Do they teach
no,
that?
Absolutely not. No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
You get the leg up that high, you don't want. It's more dangerous. It's just as dangerous for the offensive lineman. You can see, you catch a bone on the ankle, and it's not enjoyable.
On 2nd and 21, right up the gut. Nice run by Merritt to get some of that yardage back. Under 5 minutes to go. Jalen McClendon approaching 200 yards passing in this football game.
They've had the most success with Jalen McClendon on these 3rd and long situations, rolling him out, getting him away from any potential pressure. Breland Speaks, last year's UFL Defensive Player of the Year, is lined up inside against the guard, which likely frees up those 2 edge rushers as well.
3rd and 12, got to get to the 28. Almost intercepted, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down, Bryce Torndon.
There is a lot going on. You're going to get a twist game here. You're going to get a looper here, slants there. I mean, there is a lot going on for this offensive line to have to sort through. They end up allowing Mika Tafua up the middle. And Jalen McClendon was able to get the pass off, but this was almost an interception. Yeah. It goes right through the hands of the defensive back, Bryce Tornaden.
Malik Turner at his own 8-yard line, back for this punt. Calls for the fair catch. And fields it at the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. Hey, the 2025 UFL Championship will be played on Saturday, June 14th in St. Louis. Watch it here on ABC at 8 Eastern Time, or if you'd rather see it in person, tickets start at $29 and can be purchased at theufl.com/tickets. There's a look at the bracket. Panthers will play at Birmingham next week. You'll see it on ABC at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, June 8th, and then the Defenders will take on St. Louis.
It's going to be fun games. We've been looking forward to them for a couple weeks as the matchups have been set for a while now.
Colburn with nowhere to go. Well, despite his diminutive size, he wasn't able to hide from the defense that time. Jameer Jones leading the way.
I would say 5'10", 201. He's perfectly sized.
He's not 5'10". Let's go ahead and get that out of the way right now.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah, if he's 5'10", I'm 6'1".
We're all listed as 5'10" in the media guide, and I believe all of them.
2nd and 14 coming up. Panthers expect to have Tuatawa back next week. Pass tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. So in a blink, it's going to be 3rd down and long for Danny Etling, who came in the previous series in relief of Rocky Lombardi, who started the game.
For those that are familiar with college football, Matthew Colburn played at Wake Forest under Dave Clawson, where they had the slow mesh. Watch where Danny Etling releases this ball. Kind of comes into the line of scrimmage and then pulls and delivers on the RPO. Looks a lot like what Matthew Colburn did at Wake Forest. Just the launch point of the quarterback up towards the line of scrimmage and those late pulls to try and deliver.
3rd and 14. Etling out of the end zone, steps up, delivers complete at the 17-yard line to Weidermeyer. 1st down.
Danny Etling's going to be flushed from the pocket, and Weidermeyer initially goes in and then just works back out on the route. Danny Etling does a good job to avoid the initial pressure, step up, and Weidermeyer just kind of gets into his line of sight. Good delivery by Etling and a 1st down.
We have NFL wide receiver on the other side, Harry Douglas. He'll tell you, when the quarterback runs that way, you follow your quarterback and find the seam. Perfect combination there.
They call it scramble drill.
14-yard gain on the play. Etling pulls it out, going to take off. Tiptoes out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Danny Etling last week was 23 of 39 for 235 yards, albeit in that loss against Birmingham in a close 4-point loss, 26-22. He did throw 2 touchdowns against 0 interceptions.
You've got to give Danny Etling a lot of credit for how he's handled this season. Was in a quarterback battle into the season with Bryce Perkins, back and forth. When we had them the first time, Mike Nolan said, we've got 2 backup quarterbacks right now. Well, Bryce Perkins took the lead, and Danny Etling stayed a great teammate. He's obviously getting his shot late in the season.
And completed that shot for another 1st down at the 39, Jalen Moore. With 1:10 to go in the 3rd.
It's a little slant route from Jalen Moore and a good delivery by Danny Etling. He gets it just inside. It was behind the receiver, Jalen Moore, but Jalen Moore slips inside of the defender, kind of gets the defender off balance, and it's a good pickup.
17-yard pickup. Under a minute to go. 3rd quarter. Moore in motion. Etling clean pocket, not so fast. Ball comes loose. Houston being opportunistic. The ball was knocked out and recovered by Houston. TJ Franklin. We'll be counting some Benjamins with plays like that.
TJ Franklin just rips underneath the left tackle, Ryan Nelson, and keeps powering around. And then Danny Etling with improper ball security. Ball gets swatted out. Strip sack, fumble recovery. It's the trifecta for defensive linemen when you're rushing the quarterback.
Not quite enough lift for the slam, but good enough.
He didn't commit to it, though.
I'll give it a 7.5, but the sack and the fumble recovery was a 10. Let's go down to Freddie.
TJ, outstanding job not only getting the sack but also getting the strip. You've really been able to do a great job as a one-man rush stopping the running game. What's been the critical thing to your success today?
I mean, as a team, it takes all 11 on the field. We got to rush and cover together. If we're not covering the back end, sacks don't come open. And if we're not rushing together, sacks don't come open. So it all works as we all work as one. And we just got to continue to work as one the rest of the day.
What has it been like using that pressure with only 4 guys? You don't have to blitz as much you have been doing the last couple of weeks.
I mean, that's what we pride ourselves on, rushing coverage. If we got to send more than 4, then we're not doing our job as a D-line. So we take pride in that. We take pride in that as a D-line. So shout out to the guys in the back end. Shout out to the coaches for believing in us. Just got to continue to strive as a team.
Give your teammate a hug. Well done. Back up to you guys.
Great moment for TJ Franklin. 2nd and 8.
Good composure, too, after the strip sack, fumble recovery, sprint down to the goalpost, and then do an interview.
See if the Houston Roughnecks can capitalize on that turnover. McClendon has been on point today. His team up by 10 with 15 minutes to play here in Detroit. Avery Genesee, the starting left guard for the Houston Roughnecks, is hot. He is irate. He is incensed. He is inconsolable right now. Those pictures tell the story of his temperament. And right now he's on the sidelines, had a spirited discussion with his head coach C.J. Johnson a moment ago, but it sounded like they left it in a decent place.
I think you can see the instigator. Garrett Marino is there, arms out, looking at him on the sideline, laughing.
He took his head, right?
I would say so.
He took his head.
The mental game has been won.
Here we go.
2nd and 8 for now. Start of the 4th quarter. Roughnecks up by 10. And that one batted down by Breland Speaks. Sets up 3rd down and 10.
Well, here's the replacement for Avery Genesee, and let's see what Garrett Marino does to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's get Genesee back in the game. And he was trotting back on.
Is that one of those, you sorry? Okay, get back in the game.
Right, exactly. Have you had time to cool down? Yes, you have. Now, go back out there and protect my quarterback on 3rd and 8.
Even if he wasn't sorry, he was coming back in the game.
Yeah. 3rd and 10 for Houston.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So rather a rhythmic beginning to the 4th quarter for the Roughnecks.
Same thing.
Now move it back a few yards to the 36.
How much pressure does Michigan bring here at an exotic blitz on the last 3rd down? A lot to deal with.
This is usually Justin Hall time. McClendon goes the other way, complete for the 1st down catch at the 23-yard line to Chisholm this time. And he put it, Roddy, right where it had to be.
Look, that is a perfect throw. Bobbled it first.
Wow.
Does he have control of it before he lands out of bounds? That's going to be the question, because the bobble happens. I agree. I don't think he ever had full, firm control before his body hits out of bounds.
We never saw a definitive signal from here. So it initially looked like it was complete. But he definitely bobbled it.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't blame them for calling it like that. Remember, neither team has any challenges. So Houston can't challenge this.
Number 97 and 96 are reporting is eligible.
I'm not sure it'd be overturned anyway. I don't know that you can call that firm control. So it's
Play is under review for calling an incomplete pass.
I want to look at both things.
I can hear you now.
Look at our Verizon Command Center.
All right, Mike, what you got?
Jason, what I'm doing is I'm looking at two things. Looking at the catch, and then I'm looking to make sure that he has the first down, too. So I want to go to the catch first. And there is a clear bobble. He looks to pin it against his body. And again, clearly he's down in bounds if he's got control there. I want to see it from the other side. And here's the shot from the other side. And again, that ball's kind of pinned there. Man, I don't know. And then that left hand looks like it might bounce off. I don't have enough to reverse it. I'm going to stay with the incomplete pass.
Okay, so after review, the ruling is upheld.
So awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
After video review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
Great job by Mike Pereira to walk us through the steps and the rationale and the reasoning to ultimately get to the decision.
I just love that you get a peek into the thought process and all of the things on the checklist that have to be checked off, and then ultimately arriving at the point where there's not enough to overturn it.
Chris blew it from 54 yards out. He's 2 for 2 today from 43 and 20. This would be a career long. They fake it. They pull it out and not going to get enough. The Panthers decipher that play. Kedrick Whitehead Jr. was there. We have a little confrontation on the sidelines.
I think Chris Blewett might have gotten a flat tire while trying to outrun Kedrick Whitehead.
Yeah, we have a Houston player. Looks like Blewett's still down. Right there at the 35-yard line, out of bounds. And what did you hear, Freddie?
I think I've ever seen.
You could see Chris Blewett as he's trying to outrun Whitehead.
That was not going to happen.
Well, it wasn't, but watch, he takes a step and then pulls up a little bit right there. It kind of takes a step, pulls up. That's usually the sign of some sort of muscle not operating the way it should.
I love that Tyrese Halliburton fake by the holder on the kick. Yeah, he went over the shoulder to Blewett.
And look, it had the defense fooled.
Yes.
Blewett just wasn't fast enough to get around the corner.
Which was a problem on that play. They're going to keep it on the ground here on 1st and 10. McCrary. Michigan down by 10 points, a 2-score game for them. Michigan, as we said earlier, will be playing Birmingham next week in the playoffs. 6-yard run that time by McCrary.
So, guys, I had to go to my archives, right, in my brain. And that little flip by the holder,
yes.
LSU ran that a long time ago. I remember LSU actually scoring a touchdown on that play.
It's a great recall, Harry. Etling, who played at LSU, maybe he had something to do with it. Stopped up just beyond the 45 at the 45 and a bit.
Note on the little, we'll call it a kerfuffle on the sideline.
Okay.
I mean, this Houston team has nothing to play for, but Michigan, you got to be careful being sucked into some of the extracurriculars. Because you got a game next week.
Yes.
You don't want any sort of ejection from this one, anything that will put next week in jeopardy.
1st and 10. Etling going to hand it off to McCrary. Nice burst of speed down to the 44. And they move the chains again. 10-yard gain.
Just nice hesitation, and then up on that left side by Nate McCrary. And these two running backs have shown this over and over during this game, the ability to make cuts behind the line of scrimmage. Some of it's been patience in the backfield, that time decisiveness by Nate McCrary.
Colburn this time in the backfield. Etling kept it himself and is tackled at the 37.
12. Okay, give me 12 then.
12?
12. Right trip Zorro, Liz zone snob. Right trip Zorro, Liz zone snob.
Right trip Zorro, Liz zone snob. On one, ready?
Commitment to running the football. It's another run. It's been a lot of zone read, though. Danny Etling having the opportunity to pull it.
Colburn beside him in the backfield. Keep it on the ground again. Nothing happening. Sagapolu making the tackle on the play for Houston. There'll be third down coming up. Matthew Colburn out of Wake Forest.
I have to imagine Mike Nolan would have to think of this as 4-down territory. BT Potter's been inconsistent this season.
On 3rd and 4. Etling wide open over the middle. Got the first down and more. Malone inside the 15. Xavier Malone out of Henderson State. 25-yard gain.
So Malone's going to be right here, and he's covered by Leon O'Neal, who's going to point at his linebacker as Malone crosses the field. You're going to see O'Neal point. Like, you got him. Well, ends up nobody's got him, and Xavier Malone ends up wide open and creates a big play down the field.
McCrary back in the football game. Motions out of the backfield. Etling into the end zone. Incomplete. Moore couldn't squeeze it. For a split second, it looked like it hit him where it had to be.
I think it did hit him where it had to be. This is a tough throw by Danny Etling. Gets it past the safety, ahead of the corner. And man, Jalen Moore probably didn't expect it to get through. Harry, what's that like? When you see a safety coming, you think, oh, he's going to get a finger on it. He doesn't. Then it hits you right in the number.
That's why you do all those concentration drills. Before practice, after practice, for little situations like that, Roddy.
Taking another shot in the end zone. And this one not as close. Intended for Mariner, who's been a little bit conspicuous by his offensive production today, Roddy.
They haven't targeted him a ton.
Yeah.
I don't know how many targets that is. It might be his first of the game. But he's been a big play threat for him all year long. Leads the UFL in receiving yards, and they just have not been able to find that connection today.
Started his career at Utah. Played with Jordan Love. Third down and 10. Etling steps up. Going to be sacked at the 16-yard line. Fourth down coming up. What does Coach Nolan do here? So the field goal unit on the field. From 34 yards out, BT Potter will take a shot. 9 of 15 on the season. Made one earlier from 49. Light work for BT Potter. And it's a one-score game now. 19-12. Back after this.
Jake, stop talking to me, bro, please.
I got you.
I'm on a mission right now. Y'all, they not saying what he's saying to me.
Hey, come here. Look, come on. Now, me and you better. It's a football game. I want to win the game.
I'm listening to him.
I get what he's saying. Forget him. He's good. He's a daggone coward anyway. I want to win this game.
Well, on the other end of the equation, number 44, Garrett Marino. That has been the object of the ire of Genesee.
It has been a spirited back and forth. Garrett Marino known to talk his stuff. Apparently has said some things to Avery Genesee that has got him fired up and had him fired up for a number of drives.
Yeah. From the 6-yard line on the return, Grayson Jr. takes it out to the 20. Hey, Harry Douglas, who is the best trash talker you ever played against or with? Just curious. Had to be some good ones, man.
Oh, man, I'm trying to figure out.
Guys take you out of your game? I mean, you faced a bunch of DBs. DBs like to talk it, right?
Never took me out of my game because I was a trash talker.
Oh, okay.
You knew
secretly, Luke Kuechly was someone that.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, he was a little trash talker himself. Unbelievable player as well. Very intelligent, smart, instinctive. One of the best to do it at the linebacker position. But Luke Kuechly was one. I'll say played with Asante Samuel.
Okay.
But he backed it up every time, too.
Yeah, and when you get those trash talkers, guys, that do their research and they can talk about other things, that's when it gets real dangerous. Player down to the field, still trying to determine who exactly it is. We're going to take a short break and come back on the other side.
Look. Don't
Bro,
I know. Just listen to me, though.
I'm the most control.
I know. Just listen to me, though.
Go do your thing. Go do your thing. Let's go do your thing.
I got you.
I know. I don't care if you spazzing. Just don't get a flag for us. You got me?
I'm not.
I got you. Do you. I don't give a damn.
Avery Genesee says, I'm the most out of control, in control person you know.
I think, first off, we need to put that on a shirt. But secondly, that's not the epitome of football.
Yeah.
Controlled, out of control, controlled aggression is what you're looking for. And Avery Genesee's been fired up. And we have sneaking suspicions and a lot of circumstantial evidence that it is that anger has been directed towards Garrett Marino.
First down and 10. McClendon hands it off to Lingard over the left side of that offensive line and out beyond the 30. A nice dash for a 6-yard gain.
Avery Genesee did a nice job on that play. I mean, you talk about control, out of control, as you get a look at Kedrick Whitehead on the sideline. He was the one on the sideline that was down. He's been active today, so good to see him up and walking around.
From the 31-yard line, 7 minutes to play. 2nd and 4. A score for Houston here would be huge. Pass is incomplete at the 35 to Cam Sutton. Couldn't squeeze it. Sets up 3rd down and 4, and there's those two again. Having a little convo.
Good tap on the head. Nice job. A couple of Warriors in the middle there battling. They didn't even make contact on that last play.
Panthers could use a stop here defensively. Get the defense off the field. Hauled to the bottom of your screen. They look his way. McClendon going to be sacked back at the 30. And it's 4th down coming up. They'll punt. Potoa'e with a sack.
Right in the middle. Benning Potoa'e just pushes the pocket until he sees McClendon start to take off, disengages, and is able to bring McClendon down. A mid-season addition that's really provided a lot of depth to this defensive line here in Michigan. And McClendon limping once again there on the sideline.
Second time he's come up hobbled.
Yeah, I wonder if his ankle had not betrayed him from the injury earlier, because it looked like if he could have gotten a half a step, he had Hall that had cleared underneath and nobody between him but green grass and fresh air. That would have been a big play if his ankle did not betray him on that one.
And the way he's limping, I mean, looks like he's favoring the other leg.
This time, yeah. Let's take a look at that last sequence where he was tackled and where he may have suffered that injury to the left leg.
Oh yeah,
it was falling.
Left ankle get caught up under Potoa'ai as he tries to tackle him. Just unfortunate that that foot got stuck in the ground when the big defensive tackle falls on your ankle.
Mike Rivers into punt. Xavier Malone back at his own 23-yard line. He'll have a chance to return this one at the 20. Malone spins and is tackled at the 32, a 12-yard return on a 51-yard punt. Well, tonight is UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. Prelims beginning at 6 Eastern on ESPN+, followed by the main card on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. The women's flyweight main event features 4th-ranked Erin Blanchfield against 5th-ranked Macy Barber.
Those women are tougher than I'll ever think about being. Getting in the octagon.
Honestly, I feel like Mark Jones should gas up the jet and take us all out to Vegas for the UFC.
You got a lot of tolerance for his bank account, Harry.
The PJ doesn't get reception on the jet. Yeah. I would have had it. I would have had it. They're going to run it on first down. A couple of yards by Nate McCrary.
Michigan's just kind of been hanging around in this game. A lot of plus territory, drives that ended without points early in the game. But the defense has kept them within arm's reach.
Yeah. They haven't led today.
Half. No, they have not. The opportunity to do it here if we're able to put together a drive.
Etling in at quarterback. He relieved Rocky Lombardi in the 3rd quarter. We haven't seen Bryce Perkins today. Etling out of the backfield. Completes it to McCrary. Made one man miss and got near the stick for the first down. 8-yard pickup.
Nate McCrary's 6 foot, listed at 213. He looks bigger than 213.
Yes. Yeah.
But the way he moves like a guy who is, 210 pounds. He's got excellent feet, but when it comes to trying to tackle him, I mean, he looks like a back that's 220, 225.
On 1st and 10, nice little jump cut. And then put his hat down to make it out to the 48-yard line. McCrary again. Roby made the tackle.
Let's go. Here we go. Let's go. Heads 58. Heads 58. Heads 58.
Heads 58 is what I'd assume. The opposite is tails 59.
Etling. Well, he moves around well in and out of the pocket. Tiptoes out of bounds at about the 44. With under 4 minutes to go, 1st down and 10 again for Michigan.
Yeah, there's just nowhere to go, and a little gap opens up, and Danny Etling's able to get through it. But nowhere to go with the football. There's not a lot of pressure, but it's just a giant alley for Danny Etling to take off into. And he's a better athlete than he's given credit for. Now, when you compare him to the running ability of Lombardi and Perkins, he probably does not look as athletic as those two, but he can move a little bit.
Yes. 3.5 minutes to go. Etling down the middle of the field, incomplete. In and out of the arms of his intended receiver, Samson Nakua. His brother, of course, is in the NFL with the Rams. Puka.
Keenan Isaac makes this. The cornerback just puts his hand, that right hand, right on the football, knocks it out of the arms of Samson Nakua, who didn't get a clean grab on it initially anyway.
I would love to see him come down with that catch, though.
As with Danny Etling.
Etling gonna try it again. In trouble. Eludes the rush. And he made lemonade out of some lemons. Almost.
Let down by another drop.
All right, Danny.
Yep.
We're in 11. Okay, here we go.
10.
We got Lexi Boyd,
I think it has to be.
corner box.
Right choice.
Lexi Boyd, Lucy corner box. Possible. Any completion is a good completion here. Lexi Boyd, Lucy corner box.
This is timeout for him.
Now we got a player shaking up down on the field. That's Keenan Isaac out of Alabama State.
He's been getting a lot of run today. Damon Arnett, former Ohio State cornerback, is out for this game. He'd been starting for them most of the year, so it's been a lot of Keenan Isaac, a lot of Jaquan Shepard, obviously a lot of Rashad Williams as well.
A lot of big corners.
Yeah,
Houston. Isaac at 6'3", Arnett 6 foot, Williams 6'2". One-score football game with 2:41 to go.
Yeah, when you guys mentioned players, Will Lewis, the general manager, Houston Roughnecks, he even talked about that's one of the biggest things when you're a general manager in the UFL. It's always fluid. You don't know what players you're going to have, what players are not going to be available. They've done a really good job, despite all that going on, of finding the kind of right reserves when they've had injuries or defections. He's done a really good job putting this franchise together. Even though they have not had a winning season, they've done a really good job finding players that they can plug and play at on a moment's notice.
No doubt, Freddie. And you could hear Marcel Belfay on the comms to Danny Etling saying any completion's a good completion. This has got to be considered 4-down territory.
On 3rd and 10, Etling backside pressure and pushed out of bounds at about the 43. We're going to mark it at the 40. They have some extra hostilities there on the sidelines. Let's see where they spot this football. Here's the replay.
The speed rush off the edge. Danny Etling is tiptoeing up the sideline when he takes that last hit from Jameer Jones.
He was still in bounds. He was still in bounds, tiptoeing up the sidelines.
Whoa! No, 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 no! No, no, no! No, come here! No! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here!
Coach wasn't getting too close.
Meanwhile, they're going for it on 4th down.
Here we go, Etling. Incomplete. And Houston will take over on downs, intended for Mariner. And the Roughnecks defense comes up huge. Intransigent once again. And now we got a flag on the field.
A lot of extracurricular.
Yes. There's some jaw-jacking going on down there right now with 2:03 to go.
Okay, get off the field. Get off the field. Get off the field. Get off the field.
You gotta go. You ran on the field.
Get off the field.
I know what you can't do.
Get off the field. What's the call?
I'm sorry about this.
Hey, just offense.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
After the play was over, personal foul against Houston, number 96. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed. It will be 1st down and 10 for Houston after enforcement.
Let's take a look at what happened after the whistle.
There's a lot to digest, but here's the play. On the backside, you get COC Mariner, and he's one-on-one with Keenan Isaac, who comes back in the game. Very physical route. And if you had a challenge, you'd love to have challenged that. And then after the extracurriculars come, it probably shouldn't have been on 96, probably should have been on 29, Cornelder.
I'm not sure if Grayson from Michigan instigated part of that too, because they went after him. 2 different Houston players did.
They were really lucky that was post-possession. They are really lucky if you're Houston. That would have been an automatic first down for Michigan.
Right.
They get the ball offensively 15 yards back, but they're really lucky that they decided that that was a post-possession foul against the Roughnecks.
Yeah, well, yes, it was clearly the extracurriculars happening after, but it was Corn Elder who threw the Michigan player to the ground. They ended up calling it on TJ Franklin. The thing is, though, Michigan can get a stop here and get the ball back. You've got the 2-minute warning, and they've got 2 timeouts. I mean, you get a stop here, and you've got plenty of time.
And McClendon's going to keep it himself. Runs it out to the 28-yard line with under 2 minutes to go. We hit the 2-minute warning. Still a one-possession football game, but time counting down on the Michigan Panthers.
2 timeouts. All right, I'll use them after, but we got to get off here. We got to, otherwise, got to give it back. We can't stop the clock. All right, so we've got to stop. We got 2 downs to do it. Here we go.
Second and 7.
And look, Houston's only rushed for 53 yards in this game. You need your defense to come up with 2 more stops when they're running the football.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And Lingard out to the 26.
I think Jack Kramer, the center, was the only player who anticipated the ball being snapped when it was.
I thought the same thing.
That's never a good thing.
Hey, what you call him? Hey, Jaden. Here's the defense. Here it is. They call timeout. 1 first down in this game. Let's get the first down. You got it? Gun give him on left. Go ahead, give it to him. Give it to him.
Pretty simple assignment. Get the first down. 3rd and 8 is what they're facing.
It sounded like he was given the call. I couldn't hear what it was. I would be surprised if they put the ball in the air here, because an incomplete pass stops the clock and saves Michigan's last time out.
The 3 of 9 on 3rd down. Michigan has to get a stop here. McClendon almost intercepted. With 4th and 8 coming up, Harden got his hands on it first. And Michigan lives.
Well, it's just, you're going to see the slant, and Keontae Harden undercuts it to try and pick this thing off. And they're lucky it wasn't picked off, but nonetheless, you're just giving Michigan the ball back with 1:50 and their timeout. And I know you're trying to get the first down, be aggressive.
Yes!
But I feel like there's a way to do that.
Yes!
With a safer throw that would have pulled that last time out at least.
From the 17-yard line, Malone ran out of real estate at the 22. 78 yards away. And trailing by 7. Danny Etling in relief of Rocky Lombardi in the second half here. After that 53-yard punt. See what he can do here. Michigan with 1 timeout remaining. Houston with 3.
I think if you're Michigan, you're telling Danny Etling, hey, don't be afraid to tuck it and run if you've got an alley and use your legs. Houston's been pretty stingy with their coverage today, but if they're in man-to-man, there's alleys for the quarterback to be able to pick up yardage with his legs.
Etling steps up. Overthrown and picked off. Keenan Isaac. And Isaac might have just signed the death certificate right there on this game for Etling and the Panthers. With 89 seconds to play.
So it ends up being cover 3, and Danny Etling's eyes take the safety over there as well. So on the route, you've got both the corner underneath and the safety being able to make a play on this ball. The ball's overthrown anyway, and that's about all she wrote for this one after the first play when Michigan gets the ball back.
4th turnover of the day for the Michigan Panther offense. And Michigan with 1 timeout remaining. Regardless, though, remember, Etling and the Panthers will play Birmingham next week in Birmingham. And the winner will play in the UFL championship game against either St. Louis or the DC Defenders. It's going to be a loss of a couple yards back at the 38-yard line. Merritt caught behind the line of scrimmage by Ron Stone Jr. They're out of timeouts.
Now, unless something crazy happens, Michigan's going to turn their attention to solving the Birmingham Stallions riddle. And they have not been able to beat the Birmingham Stallions since Mike Nolan has been the head coach.
You can call timeout for me on next if you want, even though I don't have any. Just do it. Just blow it.
We were told that the only time the Michigan Panthers have beaten Birmingham was in the first game of the first iteration of the USFL.
Wow.
Back in the 80s.
That's some history. Wow. Well, the law of averages says they're due.
The law of juju says some bad juju on their side.
2nd and 14. McClendon will hand it off to Merritt. Stays in bounds. And the Panthers are helpless now to stop the clock. There it is. They're 0-5 against the Stallions. They'll get a chance on ABC next weekend. You'll see it. Who are you taking out of the Final Four teams to win it all? Does Birmingham four-peat?
I'm going to go St. Louis.
Okay.
I think St. Louis, with the way that they've played, the season that Jacob Sailors has had, the defense led by Peter Tamupenu has been phenomenal this season. I'm going to go St. Louis.
This is Merritt sliding up the sidelines, stayed in bounds, and he's going to crib that thing. House call, but there's a flag down. Kirk Merritt. And there's a flag down all the way back at the 43.
Holding offense number 3 at that spot, so we're going to replay start on snap. Okay.
During the run, holding offense number 3. The 10-yard penalty is enforcing the spot. It will remain third down.
It actually allows Houston now to take a knee and end the game, which they obviously a touchdown effectively, but now they'll be able to actually end it. And congratulations to CJ Johnson and this staff for riding the ship. I mean, this is a team that started 1-3,
right,
and then down the stretch they're going to end up 4-2 in their last 6.
You got to go
to go 500 on the season. So it's an excellent job of once they found a quarterback, really getting this thing going in the right direction and finishing the way that they want to finish. A lot of guys put some good film on tape today.
Remember, we saw them early this season against Arlington. Anthony Brown was still the quarterback at that time, but man, when Jalen McClendon took over, things really looked a little bit more promising.
How about Avery Genesee and Garrett?
It's all love now.
Hey man, you know, just two guys going about it.
It's great to be able to leave it on the field in more ways than one. CJ Johnson's Houston Tuad wins it. Maybe we spoke too soon.
Genesee left it on the field, the other two, but the two coaches that have such history together, such respect for each other, congratulated each other, and Mike Nolan with more to play for, obviously, next week.
Houston with the wire-to-wire victory.
My man from New Orleans.
Michigan turned it over 4 times, hurting their cause. Let's go downstairs to Freddie.
What does it say about your team, Coach Johnson? You start the season 1-3, and you finish 4-2, and you get a victory against a team on their home field, going to the playoffs after losing to them 2 weeks ago.
You know what? It's tough. The one thing about our team is our team got resiliency. Man, we got grit. We tough. We never gonna quit. You know, so just man, great team win. Great team win.
What is it about your leaders of your team? McClendon, for example, your quarterback. The minute he became your quarterback, things seem to turn around. Roddy Jones on the booth said things things seem to really get better for your football team the minute that he became your starting quarterback?
I think the team believed in him. I think he's a good player, and, he's continuing to learn. But, man, he done a fantastic job.
What's the one thing you learned about yourself as a coach, coaching this team? Early adversity, better to the end of the season.
I learned I got a good staff, and I got good players that can listen and do what we try to do what we ask them.
Congrats on the win, Coach. Good. Enjoy the offseason, too.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
7-point win for Houston as we bring in Aaron now to close the book. Aaron?
Well, guys, as I said, the public really liked Houston today, and Houston ends up winning outright as a slight dog. Now, as for that total, we did see an under cash, so one of my favorite bets did hit for this game. That's not me bragging, but I feel like we're having flashbacks to the beginning of the seasons from week 1 to 3, in which we saw unders cash like crazy after we saw an influx of overs since then. So keep that in mind. The last 2 games in the UFL, we've seen unders cash because it's the last week of the regular season. 2 more UFL games that you have to bet on for the rest of the weekend.
All right, thanks a lot, Aaron. That'll do it from here. Rocky Lombardi, unsuccessful in terms of getting the winning in his first professional start. For our entire UFL broadcast team, thanks you for watching, folks, all season. For Roddy, Freddie, I'm Mark Jones, and for Harry, Women's College World Series is next.